will be right back. Give me one moment. Oh, God, guys, I ate too much. One moment.
Fox NASCAR is in Lexington, Ohio. Today it's race number 13 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021 at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And you know, when you go road racing in the Xfinity Series, there are certain names that we always seem to talk about. And at Daytona, they were at the front, racing for a stage win. A.J. Allmendinger, the 16, the 22 is Austin Cindric. And look what happens. Contact, trouble, and this incident opened the door for...
That was still the dumbest thing I've ever seen A.J. Allmendinger do behind the wheel. That move at the end of that stage at Daytona, I'll never understand it.
54 wins on the road course at Daytona. It does the same 2 weeks ago.
Well, I really thought my screen would pop up on the YouTube app, but it didn't. So I have to take my time here and go to fucking Google.
Today, as we go to Mid-Ohio, well, Jeremy Clements could win because he's won on a road course before, and he's got a good starting position. We talk about the success of Joe Gibbs Racing. Yes, there'll be a player today. Maybe Riley Herbst, who drove for Joe Gibbs a season ago, could be a factor. He's been really good on the road courses so far this season. More storylines coming up. Right now, we're going trackside.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in all of sports. Here to give the command,
all of
please
sports.
welcome lead technician for B&L Transport, Dwayne
Hey, DFS.
Miller. Drivers, start your engine!
Today's bet is A.J. Allmendinger. At least I know I'll have a chance.
Boy, I love that sound.
Let's watch a race.
This is going to be a great day for racing in Lexington, Ohio. Welcome.
It's a great weekend for racing. I love road courses.
Michael Waltrip, Jamie McMurray.
Best weekend ever.
I'm Adam Alexander, and Jamie, this is race number 3 on a road course this season. So walk us through this 13-turn layout.
Yeah, Adam, it's a pretty tricky track. It's hard on tires, slick. Let's actually take a look at, we're going to start with turn 2. They call it the keyhole. This is a heavy braking zone.
Well, I can't think of a more famous phrase in all of sports.
And you can see it gets pretty crazy. And the later in the race, the crazier it gets. We head down the backstretch. Then into turn 4, the heaviest braking zone. You see Russ Lane, yes, last night in the ARCA race, spins out, ends up in...
What? Ty Gibbs won another ARCA race?
He's going to take you down
I'm shocked.
Down Thunder Valley, and then that's our next passing zone. You're going to see Regan Smith.
This racetrack doesn't go through Bristol. What's Jamie McMurray talking about?
Went on
Silly.
to win that race. You know, Mike, all the drivers that I talked to said that this track is kind of like the short tracks of road course racing.
I tell you, it gets me dizzy, especially when you leave turn 4, Jamie. There's so many twisted turns, so much action out there.
Road course aficionado Michael Waltrip. I tell you one thing, Jamie McMurray is one of the most underrated road course drivers of all time. McMurray was always really good at places like Sonoma.
When A.J. Allmendinger went to victory lane driving for Roger Penske, Sam Hornish got the win here at Mid-Ohio as well. And then the last
Remember when Sam Hornish had a career renaissance as a fucking assassin for Joe Gibbs or Roger Penske?
A lot of energy and excitement for this team. Talk to those guys.
Love you, Sam Hornish. Sam Hornish really earned my respect.
Here today, and I'm telling you, I love the way this track
I had nothing for him when he first came to NASCAR. I just thought he was crap.
Who's going to be in a position to give the old bump and run here today?
7 races at Mid-Ohio, and you talked about it, Michael.
Back at home watching races on TV again. I'm telling you, I got to go to more races.
So let's check in with our pit reporters. We start things off with Jamie Howe. Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, Adam. One driver I'm going to keep my eye on is Noah Gragson in that number 9 machine. He lines up 13th today, but he considers himself a bit of a road course specialist. In his 10 previous road races, he has 8 top 10 finishes. He has 6 top 5s, and he has raced here at Mid-Ohio before. Goes back in 2009.
Or they Noah Gregson specializes in as being a douchebag.
So he did say it's going to take between 1 and 5 laps to really
DFS, Dale Jr. was the same way. Dale Jr. was always one of the top 5 fastest guys at Sonoma his last like 4 years of running. I remember there was a couple years in a row I was convinced that Jr. was going to show up and win Sonoma because he had gotten so good at it. Jr. was always okay at Watkins Glen. It was Sonoma that gave him trouble, like I said, until about 2014.
In the ARCA race, it was a dominating performance for Gibbs. In fact, every time he gets in the car, he expects...
Hey, guess what? I did not watch the iRacing Invitational this week, and I didn't miss anything.
Stepping up his game for the Xfinity Series, and he said, I really haven't felt the pressure to do that. I just got to go out and do what I do. He said it with the nonchalance that you'd expect from an 18-year-old.
It's amazing, isn't it, Vince, at Daytona in his opener? He just wanted to run all the laps. Today,
hey, Michael.
He's a favorite to win. We're just about ready.
I'm still going through that depression of not being at the racetrack this weekend. At either racetrack this weekend. AJ Allmendinger is the pick today, Caden. I was surprised to see Ty Gibbs had better odds than Allmendinger. I know Ty Gibbs has won a couple times this year, but how did he have better odds than Allmendinger? Although yesterday, he won the ARCA race. Big fucking deal, right? I just had some of those delicious hand-breaded chicken tenders from Hardee's. I got to work tonight, so after the race, I'm probably just going to lay down and chill for a little while. Maybe take a little nap. Hopefully I can get a decent nap in before tonight. Dale Earnhardt is so underrated as a road course racer because he only won one road course race. But Dale Earnhardt's average finish on road courses was in the top 5. He averaged like a 4th place finish. And he had, I'm pretty sure he still has the highest average finish all time on road courses, Dale Earnhardt. So he never got credit for being as good. He had a couple of road races get stolen from him or whatever. There's a Riverside race he should have won. And he did win Sonoma in 95, but Earnhardt was really good on road. Anybody who says Dale Earnhardt wasn't good on road courses doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I said he had an average of like a 4th place finish on road courses. Riverside, Watkins Glen, Sonoma. You know, so it's like circumstance. Sometimes the guys that are good at something, the circumstances don't work out. I just mentioned earlier that I think Jamie McMurray was really good at Sonoma. And I'm surprised Jamie Mack never won a road course race as good as he was at places like Sonoma. Now, Dale should have won Riverside. The very last Riverside race, he got black flagged for something. I've seen that race on ESPN Classic before, and my dad, of course, was yelling at the TV because he remembers watching when it happened or whatever. He was the big Earnhardt fan. Oh, Riverside. Is that place in... I think Riverside's in NR 2003. Hey, Darlington, I was there. They're showing Allgaier when he won Darlington. I was there.
Snyder hanging on, and he will win for the first time in his career. Wow, that was fun.
Herbst, you put 25 cents on Herbst. Stranger things have happened, Michael.
Josh Berry, welcome to
No rain in the forecast after Coda. That's probably a good thing.
Burton, first career win comes at Talladega Superspeedway.
Ty Gibbs won his first race in Daytona on the road course this year. Now he wins on the oval in Charlotte.
12 races.
I love this racetrack.
4 first-time winners.
One of my favorite things to do in Heat 5, if I ever play it again, is run Mid-Ohio.
Practice no qualifying, and we give you now the starting lineup, front row. races. Austin Cindric,
Back in the day when Earnhardt raced,
we think will be there.
guys would literally take road course races off. They would show up and run, but they wouldn't even care or try. Dale Earnhardt, to his credit, was one of the few drivers like, I'm going to bust ass and try to get a top 5. Earnhardt was always thinking points. Most drivers legitimately ignored putting any effort into Sonoma or Watkins Glen back in the 80s and early 90s. But then Jeff Gordon came along, and that changed everything. I think Jeff Gordon had a lot to do with how modern NASCAR drivers started taking road courses a lot more seriously. And now we have like 6 or 7 in Cup, so you better take them serious. There is no scheduled competition cost. That's good to see. Can we talk about how dumb it is that there's no practice in Sonoma when there's like 9 or 10 drivers that have never raced at Sonoma before? But anyway, I digress.
David Starr, NASCAR veteran in the field, driving the 61. Joe Graff Jr., who got out of the car on the road course a couple of weeks ago, and Coda back in the 07.
I kind of can't wait till Cindric's moved up to Cup and out of Xfinity, so these road courses will become a little more unpredictable again.
We'll start that 90 car from Mario Gosling.
No, Dale would have retired years ago. I think Dale Earnhardt would have retired around 2005. I've heard Junior talk about his dad was like, yeah, I've only got a few years left. He says he remembers his dad saying that around 2001. He only had a few years left. So I'd say around 05, he probably would have retired.
It does. I loved road racing as much as any.
Honestly, he might have gone longer than 05. He'd definitely be retired by now, but he might have gone longer than 05. But we'll never know.
AARP race analysis, and the layout of it different, especially when you look at those stage breaks. We came here a couple of years ago.
3 stages, each of them 25 laps.
Breakdown was 20, 20, and 35.
So they're changing up the stage lengths here. 25, 25, 25.
So it's balanced evenly. That could impact strategy, and with that, we get to our mother's pit performance. And this is what's interesting. Modified pit stops this weekend because it's a standalone race. Keep in mind, under caution, you can take tires or fuel, but you can only do one in each stop.
We're going green. Cindric, Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton.
As long as you do that, you maintain your
Good to be back streaming with y'all after being at the 600, even though I really wish I was at a race this weekend. Let's see what kind of battle we get here with Gibbs and Cindric. Woo, guys. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Noah Gregson's destroyed. Gregson's done. My God. Like 4 or 5 cars ran through the dirt, and I think Gregson's splitter dug in. He's done. Gregson's done for the day. Wow, what an unbelievable season he's had. And Cody Ware, the 17 gets spun around. I don't know. Yeah, it's Cody Ware. And the caution's out. Noah Gregson's out. Well, that's a good way to start your day right there. Noah Gregson is out of the race on lap 1. Noah Gregson got to run all of 1 turn. Noah Gregson made it through 1 corner.
And one thing I noticed when we were doing the starting lineup, I saw somebody cleaning their tires up, and they actually caught some of the turf just warming their tires up.
Stay out of the grass.
Such disappointment. See what happened here. You can see everybody kind of slips off the track a bit.
Hell, Noah was not even the first car to hit.
Everybody was running.
Brett Moffitt went wide into the dirt, and Gregson followed him in.
He's obviously going to be better for us, but you can see Noah Gregson could not see anything.
And it just ripped up Gregson's car. But somehow Moffitt made it through with no damage, really.
This is a great view from our Fox Sports cameras, as you can see.
How was Gregson the only one that got damage out of that?
Like Brandon Brown in the 68 was the first car off, but he didn't catch
well, that's karma.
The part of the track where Gregson did, and that pavement.
Oh, well. I really got to start looking at the Xfinity standings. Noah cannot be having a good points year at all. I mean, he can sleepwalk to the playoffs because he drives a junior motorsports car, but his point situation can't be good.
Coda, you run off And there's asphalt. If you get off the racing surface here in Mid-Ohio, you're likely
Pack it up, boys.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Adam. COTA does have so much runoff.
They went all the way to Lexington, Ohio to run not even an eighth of a lap.
Back up. Even if they spun out, they weren't stuck in gravel traps, and clearly didn't have the same issues we see here.
And now
that's
he
so
will be
frustrating,
towed.
though, because I'm telling you, he didn't even know what happened. He went through the dirt and was still trying to figure out, exactly what went down, but it's destroyed his car and ended his day.
That's
It
crazy.
was about this time a year ago that Noah won at Bristol. It was his second.
Place your bets now. How long will this caution period be? 30 minutes to pull one car off the racetrack? It's as if these guys could have done with some practice or something. I don't know. Imagine that, guys. Maybe there could have been some practice. No scheduled competition caution. We didn't need one because Noah Gregson was here to save us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, well. I hope nobody here has a bet on Gregson. Tastes like motor oil and cat piss. Water energy drinks taste like motor oil and cat piss. I've never found an energy drink that didn't have some kind of weird, nasty taste. It's got the same kind of taste. Sorry, me and a friend were talking about energy drinks because apparently Sonic has Red Bull slushies, and I said, ew. Gregson's had horrible luck this year. Well, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Can't say he doesn't deserve it. So as you guys know, I like to update you on my NASCAR 2005 career mode. Ran a couple races this morning. Ran Sonoma, July Daytona, and Chicago. In my current season in career mode, I am only running Cup, and I'm a Truck Series owner. Ty Sheets is leading the point standings over Travis Quapple. Good points battle there. Won the July Daytona race this morning. I shoved Jeff Gordon I two-car tandem Jeff Gordon until I got into my pit window to make it, and then I pitted and left him out there on his own. And then when it cycled through, I was like 3 or 4 seconds ahead of Gordon, and he couldn't catch me by the end of the race. I'm telling you guys, that's how you win Daytona and Talladega in those old NASCAR games. Two-car tandem. Learn how to do it. It works. You can just shove another car way out front and get such an advantage. I want to do a full-length Daytona 500 in NASCAR 05 and see if I can lap the field pushing somebody.
Not messing around in Mid-Ohio.
All right, have we wiped Gregson's shit off the racetrack? What a great crowd for Mid-Ohio.
That we thought could win the race today. Noah Gregson, who's now done. Interestingly enough, he came into this race, and I said something just going to break it. Plus 46 on our leaderboard. He's now plus 8. Tell us where it all went wrong, Mike.
It looks like Jeb Burton there on the outside.
Who's the first car?
Guy to dip his right side
Yeah,
tire
Jeb
in
Burton
dirt.
slid his right rear tire through the dirt, kicked up a mess. Moffitt went through, and then the smoke clears, and Gregson's riding around without a splitter. You can tandem an F1 2014. That's funny.
Look at Gibbs.
Like I said, I tandem a NASCAR 05.
Off the road. Brandon Brown that ran off as well, and there goes the ductwork to the 9 car, the Bass Pro Shops. Chevy goes up in smoke.
I feel like we've seen cars run off there a lot over the years. I don't know that I've seen that much damage, but every driver is going to take note of that right now, knowing that that's not a place that you can run off.
We go back to the very start of the race, 2019. They made it to the keyhole in this race before they started mixing it up.
And look, blue and white 9, that's
2019, I went to a Kiss concert that night after this race. Hard to imagine that I did not stream NASCAR until last year.
And
So 2019 Mid-Ohio, I was watching Cindric win as I was heading out the door to go see Kiss in Charlotte.
Start the race at Daytona because they had problems. Wow. Engine failure at
Wild times, my friends.
And now this today. So
I'm really glad I started streaming this stuff.
things just not going his way when it comes to a road.
We are still under caution.
Top 5 early. Cindric, Gibbs.
I haven't been timing how long the caution is, but I said it'd be something like a half hour. Somebody talk me into working tonight because I don't feel like fucking working tonight. I've been going back and forth on it all day. Should I just lie and say something about my other job? NASCAR should race Monaco. Well, you got iRacing and Forza. Monaco's in Forza, right? I never did get Forza. I've got the Xbox. I never got Forza. I remember when they put NASCAR in Forza. That was the same year Heat Evolution came out. So all summer before Heat Evolution came out, I was watching people play NASCAR in Forza, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time, and I was so depressed. I was like, man, I want to play a decent NASCAR game. I still want to play a decent NASCAR game that's not from 2004. But you can't always get what you want. I'm really happy I'm committed to my career mode in 2005, though. It really passes a lot of time whenever I get bored. I just pop that on. Fuck. God help me, I don't want to work tonight. Oh yeah, I got something I can show you guys. You're gonna have to deal with seeing my ugly face for a few seconds. But I'll show you while I'm here on the stream. Look at this picture. Huh? Look at that. You like the coffee mug in the background? I don't know if it's wise to show my Facebook on a live stream, but I wanted to show you this picture. 2004 Daytona 500 car and 2014 race win Daytona 500. That 2014 one is like the most prized piece of my NASCAR collection. I'm very happy to have that car. So happy I no longer feel compelled to buy every diecast car of Junior's that I see because I got the one I really, really wanted. You're right, I'm not that ugly because my mommy says I'm handsome. I'm kidding. Yeah, I could look at this picture all day. Matter of fact, I can just look right next to me and see those cars sitting right here on the table next to me.
Series hits Sonoma. It's the Toyota Mark 350, where the best
Anyway.
drivers of the world look to make it to victory lane in wine country. Our coverage starts here on
Sonoma.
with race day.
4 o'clock. I get to sleep till like 3:30 tomorrow because I'm going to come home from work at 6 in the morning, tired as fuck.
On FS1 and Fox Sports app. Busy weekend for you, Jamie, with Michael and me today.
Oh, look at little Noah.
Race day, and
Look at little Noah walking around, going to the care center.
You know, 2 years ago, he won the West race at Sonoma. We talked about his ability road racing, but unfortunately, an early exit.
He made it a whole one turn before he junked it.
He's kind of been a favorite going into every race, but I think he was also in that same category as a championship favorite this year. It just has not been a good year for Noah Gragson.
Let's get a thought on his teammate, Miguel Paludo, Vince.
Well, it's not often these days
We better be coming to the one to go here.
Paludo may fit into that category, but runs full time in the Porsche career.
I told you, DFS, my PC setup is literally a laptop on a disc. It's a laptop on a disc. Okay, we're going green this time. Thank God. Completing lap number 4, Cindric, Gibbs, Burton, and Burton.
I like your thought there, and you mentioned 2 starts this year.
Cindric gets a great launch. Can we go longer than one turn?
Under green as we start lap 5.
Keep it on the track. Look at how shallow everybody's coming out of that first turn. Yeah, Mikey just pointed that out. Got Justin Haley going 3 wide under Moffitt and Brandon Jones back there. Outbreak him, outbreak him. Nice move by Justin Haley. He passed 2 cars going to the keyhole. Cindric gets away with the lead. Coming down to my least favorite corner of the racetrack in NASCAR heat because the AI doesn't have to fucking break through here at all.
When you're coming down to turn 4, you hit 4th gear, right, Jamie? I mean, this is the fastest portion of the race course.
Michael, I'm with you. I thought Gregson would have a couple of wins by now with Briscoe and Custer and those guys out of the way.
Brown right there, he stayed on the outside. He's then kind of in the preferred lane when they get to that next corner, so you see guys fight for that all day long.
I think that ARCA race yesterday is going to prove very valuable for Ty Gibbs. That is like incredible seat time.
Even though it's a road course, you see a lot of side-by-side racing on a road
I know cars handle different across all the series, but road courses, they all kind of handle similar.
Brandon Brown literally running side by side through 4, 5, 6, 7. Justin Haley was able to prevail on the exit at 9, which a little bit of a crest of a hill there.
Mentioned Brandon Brown coming off that top 5 finish, saved a set of tires and rallied late 1 week ago.
We'd like to point out Daniel Hemrick is ahead of Noah Gregson in the standings. Ha 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 ha.
small team, just doing great things.
We completed a lap under green.
Up in the top 10 here early, but doing a nice
At
job.
the Austin Cindric Show.
Battling with AJ Allmendinger.
God, they are kicking up a lot of dirt off of turn
Asked
1.
him the other day, Jamie, what he was doing 8 years ago or so, and he got to thinking, oh yeah, I want to race.
Allmendinger passes Brandon Brown for 7th. Hemrick shoving his nose in there, up on the curb trying to get around Brandon Brown.
You know he's going to show you the nose. You know he's going to try to outbreak you, and you kind of have to pick that balance.
Charlotte last week in the Xfinity Series was a really interesting race, and it really jumbled up the starting order for this race because you had Brandon Brown so close to the front.
As Daniel Hemrick, he had the run that he needed, and Brandon Jones crossed the field a hole as well.
2016 Mid-Ohio is still one of my favorite races of all time, the one that Justin Marks won in the rain.
Aren't quite as good, or they're out.
Why does SHR suck? I don't know. Tony Stewart's worried about the SRX. Gene Haas is all about Formula One. Briscoe's a rookie. Justin Haley's making a lot of impressive moves early in this race.
Actually on Justin's dash. That's so when he communicates to the crew chief and they make sure they're both talking about the same corner, knowing that we didn't have any practice this weekend.
Look how straight that track course is, pretty much to the left, Adam. You go up there, make a left, go down there, make a right. Then after that, you need that.
The last couple of corners on this racetrack are really fun. Yeah, Brandon Brown's had a very good year. Jeremy Clements has had an incredible year. I'd love to see Clements steal another win somewhere along the way. Make that autograph I have a lot more valuable. I got Jeremy Clements' autograph.
And there goes Brown making that move, Brandon versus Brandon. And now Brown's able to slip back inside as Brandon Jones slipped his tires under braking.
Cindric and Gibbs are pretty even, pulling away from everybody.
Ty Gibbs keeping pace with Cindric. Can't close in, but there's a lot of battles elsewhere.
I love the paint scheme on Allgaier's car. His paint schemes have been on point this year.
This 16 car, I believe he's going to be able to pace his way through the field. Obviously, a great road.
Giving SHR to somebody else won't fix it.
Racer, he knows that it's important to take a
They've
time.
been successful before with the current combination. They'll be successful again.
AJ Allmendinger, Justin Haley.
I bet they'll bounce back when the new car comes in because they'll have to double their efforts. I feel like Stuart Haas has been kind of coasting after the last couple of years, and this being the last year in the Generation 6 car, they're probably just running what they've got, while guys like Hendrick have made advancements. Hendrick has obviously made huge advancements, but I think Stuart Haas has gotten kind of complacent. I'm sure they don't see it that way, but the results would say otherwise.
Yeah, and I talked to AJ earlier in the week,
And they got fucking Riley Herbst out here wasting their Xfinity car.
just enjoy the time in Matt's hometown. So it's really cool to see him having such a great relationship with this team.
Justin Haley passing Allmendinger and Allgaier going to the keyhole.
Of Allgaier,
Man, Justin Haley's fast.
I believe he's got
He is really fast.
the big push from his team. Hey, look at this.
Gets a little bump draft down this long straightaway here from his teammate to get by Allgaier. So Justin Haley's up to 6th. And Allmendinger's going to pass him back. Ah! Look how much better Allmendinger is under braking. Haley's fast, but nobody can match a guy like Allmendinger when it comes to under braking.
Nice work by the 16. who jumps into the top 5.
You know what's great about that, Jamie? The 16 gave the 11 a push.
So it's a net gain for Haley. He gets in front of Allgaier, but Allmendinger passed him back. Tommy Joe Martins is blown up, I believe. Caution's out again. He blew up over past the keyhole, so yeah, they got to throw a caution for that.
Hey, Jay, he was getting ready to give a courtesy way.
He was going to drag oil all over this racetrack.
That is awesome. Second caution of the day. Let's go to Jamie Howe.
2 cautions in the first 8 laps. Oh, look at Gregson's little pouty face. Never thought I'd see bump drive if you go to road course either. That was phenomenal.
I felt like we were making his way through. I mean, I only got a corner in, but was able to jump up a row and was exiting turn 1 and following the car in front of me. I'm not sure who it was, and they went in the dirt, and I was covered in dust, couldn't see in front of me at all.
Visibility. What's with visibility on road courses?
I guess I don't know what I hit. There's a little cutout through there that's paved. I don't know if it clipped that or something, but yeah, it hurt the oil pan, I'm guessing, and it just sucks.
Tore that shit up, didn't it?
Not being able to run with these guys in the Xfinity Series, I really enjoy this racetrack, but it's a bummer, it's frustrating, but our team, we keep our heads held high, and very thankful for our partners. Johnny Morris, he's down tuna fishing right now. Everyone at Bass Pro Shop, True Timber, Camouflage, Black Rifle Coffee. It takes everyone, and it's been a rough start to the year so far, and I don't really know what to do anymore. I'm trying everything, but hopefully it'll go our way one day.
Oh, well, you got some company in the garage now because Tommy Joe Martins is out of the race. Hate that for Tommy Joe.
Go to the merchandise hauler and go meet up with some fans and maybe grab a White Claw or 2. I don't know. That was a joke.
This pussy drinks White Claw.
You know, we talk about the impact.
I'd ask him a dumb question, too. What are you going to do now? Wow, Noah's only 20 points to the good on the playoff cut line. He's back there with Michael Annette and Brandon Brown. He's in Riley Herbst territory for the playoffs. Not good. Not good, Bruno. Look at Daniel Hemrick, 143 points to the good.
Second caution of the day for Tommy Joe Martins. We're back in a minute.
Good racing so far. That battle with Allmendinger, Haley, and Allgaier was really good. IndyCar does a better job with splitters. I want to know who came up with a splitter. I love my Dale Jr. Wrangler diecast, but the splitter on that thing is comically large, but that's exactly how big it was when they ran that car. I got some cool cars in my collection. I better not look at them too much or I want to buy more. I told you my new rule is I'm only going to buy diecasts when I go to the racetrack. I will stop ordering online. I feel like I should leave that Facebook group so I'm not tempted. Got a new subscriber. Welcome to the show. Hope you feel compelled to stick around. I'm really not looking forward to work tonight. That playoff format's not going anywhere. My idea for a point system is pretty straightforward. But it's hard to explain. It's straightforward, but it's a lot more simpler than what we got now. My idea for a point system kind of combines the best of both. It's baseball night in America. Is it football season yet?
On the Yankees.
It's only June, goddammit.
The Braves. Maybe you'll see the Cubs and the Giants. It's tonight, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Oh, there's some great matchups. They are. You'll be watching.
There they are, loading up at 9 car, going back to North Carolina.
Loading the car
Not a good sign, guys.
on the hauler. Not good.
And it's so disappointing for Noah.
Brilliant insight there from Jamie McMurray. That's not a good thing when they're loading your car up.
You can win with. Make one turn, and you're putting it on the trailer. They didn't see that coming for sure.
You know, Ty Gibbs is 18, just graduated high school, and already he's going to school in this race.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know that he wants to get to the lead, but being able to follow Austin Cindric, who's one of the best around this racetrack, it's such a great learning experience of whether you're trying to figure out his braking zones, you know, how much curb he's using on entry or on the exits, and just getting little feels for what he maybe is doing a little bit different than what you have, seeing if you can use it later in the race.
And you know what I love about that, Jamie? He wants to pass him right now. He said, I think I've learned all I need to from him.
good.
If I pass him and drive away from him, I think I know what he does.
Credit to him for practicing patience, at least for now, Vince.
Well, and just as Jamie was saying, he is going to school. The spotters going to school as well, and they just told Ty Gibbs that the 22 of Austin Cindric is beating him at turn 4, and the 22 is just driving it in deeper there, and to make sure to understand what you can do with your brakes to help get the car turned. So it is a lesson in process for sure for Ty Gibbs. Jamie?
And for Andy Lally, we've mentioned him as one of the ringers to watch. He started this race 27th. He's already been able to advance himself all the way up to the 15th position.
A little bit of attrition early in this race.
His goal today is still a top 5 result. He said it's going to have to come early on in this race. So what they're doing right now is trying to work through some of the
I'd like to point out that Michael Annett is ahead of Noah Gragson in the point standings.
With the team right now, he's also struggling with the car snapping loose in the tight corners. But Andy's one of the guys that can fight through it.
And I love so much having him up in the booth at COTA for the truck race. Just a wealth of information, knowledge. Won Daytona 5 times. You know he knows how to get it done on these road courses. And Jamie McMurray, when Andy comes here, he expects more. That's why he was telling the team so much about what was going wrong with his car.
Yeah, he's had an incredible career, and you know he's one of those guys that a lot of the younger drivers turn to when they go to one of these places, especially since we don't get practice of just asking little characteristics of the track. He's really well spoken, and I feel like he's one of the best at describing. Kind of we talk about Kurt Busch describing his car. Andy Lally is super descriptive in everything that he does.
And no excuse if he is ever late to a meeting, because he's got like 100 Rolex watches.
Hey, Lori. Noah Gregson's out of the race. We're having a good day so far.
Road racing so much. They make a couple adjustments.
I'm running 5th place with H. Allmendinger right now.
Wouldn't surprise me at all for him to be up in the top 5 before this thing's over.
His first ever top 5 in the Xfinity Series coming here a handful of years ago in Mid-Ohio. And I was talking to him about the competition this season.
Going green with 14 to go in stage 1 this time, Bob. Love this racetrack.
Typically it was 7 or 8 guys on a road course. Now
You know, as much as I love Mid-Ohio, I would give it up in a second to get Montreal back.
You know, we're coming to our 3rd restart of the race here. We've had the same 2 drivers on the front row. And Austin Dillon's going to have to keep shaking this up just a little bit.
Michael, I would have finished 2nd last week because I picked Chase Elliott. I would have got another 2nd place finish. Because I said that Kyle Larson would dominate, but Chase Elliott would win. I was almost right. And they just waved off the fucking restart. Never mind, they're going to commercial. They waved off the fucking restart. The eternal cautions continue. I had a great time last week at the 600, by the way. For anybody who hasn't watched my streams during this week after the 600, we had a great time. That race was a lot more competitive than it looked, because if you remember, Chase Elliott passed Kyle Larson under green for the lead, and William Byron did as well. It's just Larson was the dominant car and prevailed in the end. So, it was a little more competitive than it seemed. But late in the race, it was as one-sided as it had been all day. Interesting to hear Larson talk about how he used the lapped car of Eric Jones to get a big draft and get away from the other guys. And then Busch, Byron, and Elliott were racing hard for 2nd for the last 30 or 40 laps. And, yeah, Larson had him covered. Had a great time, though. The race was less than 4 hours, and I got home pretty quickly. So it was a very successful day. And I look forward to going to Daytona in August. It's really hot here, too. You ordered Haley Deegan diecast. Wow. 120. That's actually not bad. I've learned a lot about diecast cars and prices. Should Honda join NASCAR? No, there's no money in it. It's hotter than the devil's dick down here in North Carolina, but I work indoors at night, so I never have to deal with it. I haven't had to paint in a couple of weeks. There was a couple of days in the last couple of weeks where we were supposed to go, but then something happened or it rained or whatever. So I've literally only been doing the Ingles job a few nights a week. And I guess I'm going to go do it again tonight, even though I don't feel like it. I really do not feel like it. Not having a good time. Okay, we're going to go green with 13 laps to go in stage 1.
Capacity in the coming weeks and throughout the rest of the year, and they got a great day for it here in Central Ohio. So wonderful to see fans out in full force.
I've never felt better at a racetrack than I did at COTA with so much energy, excitement. I mean, all Sunday morning before the Cup race, people are just happy to be there. What a great feeling that was.
Cedric Gibbs and the Burtons, followed by Allmendinger and Haley. Haley's been very aggressive. Haley's really close to the front now. We'll see what kind of moves he can make here. He got schooled by A.J. Allmendinger, but other than that, Haley's been very impressive so far. Cedric clears Gibbs off of 1. Ryan Sieg fishtails through the dirt. And Ty Gibbs dives to the inside of Cedric. Wow, nice move. Nice move. Ty Gibbs outbraked Cedric into the keyhole, and he's taking the lead. He's not clear, though. They're going down the straightaway side by side. Oh, he's clear now, barely. Cedric tucks in behind him. Allmendinger on the outside of Harrison Burton for 3rd. Cedric crosses back to the inside of Gibbs. Beats him under braking. Cedric retakes the lead. They traded the lead a couple of times this lap. That's very, very cool.
Outbreaking someone is one thing, but the second thing is keeping your car under control. Both those guys, awesome passes here on this initial lap of the restart.
Racing side by side like that on a road course is not easy without running into each other, and these guys did it clean. It's early, of course, but still. They were on the edge of hitting each other. Look at Riley Herbst trying to break into the top 10, and he does. He passes Brandon Jones, a driver equally as shit as him. But at least Jones has managed to win a little bit.
I love the way they just raced each other hard. And when they look in the mirror, speaking of racing hard, look who's fixing to join this battle for first. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger. He's up to 3rd.
A.J. Allmendinger has entered the chat. He's putting pressure on Ty Gibbs. Ooh, Gibbs really loose there through the keyhole. Gibbs was sliding sideways, and that opened the door for Allmendinger, who's not going to get loose, who's not going to slide. He's going to be perfect lap after lap. Allmendinger's only problem is being overly aggressive, but usually he doesn't slip. And Allmendinger makes the pass for 2nd. That's my pick.
You talked about it earlier, Adam, how much this means to Matt Collick and how much Matt Collick, his owner, means to A.J. Allmendinger, giving him this opportunity.
You know, I'm interested to find out tomorrow. You know, it's been 2 years since we've been to Sonoma. Truex was dominant at Sonoma the last several times. Is Chase Elliott going to be on that level now? Because the last time we were at Sonoma, Chase was running 4th in a race that Truex dominated, and Chase is motor blew up. Will Truex continue to dominate, or is Chase just going to own Sonoma like he owns every other road course now? That's something to watch for tomorrow.
Who's in the red and white car? You don't think
I'm going to say that he knew that one now.
Yeah, he's a student of the game. He knows what car Allmendinger's driving.
Cedric Allmendinger.
Stuff. This is what a road course race should look like. Calculated passes. Guys,
Mikey taking a shot at the rain racing at Coda a couple weeks ago. Allmendinger's coming for that lead, buddy.
Well, AJ's got really good braking capabilities, but
AJ's unbelievable under braking. That's where him and Chase Elliott just kill everybody.
Overall grip compared to what you see with Cindric, but Austin did a great job kind of getting off of that corner. And it's going to be hard to outbrake Austin Cindric unless you're right on him on the entry.
You know, I said this on Race Up this past week. What I admire about Allmendinger is not only what he has brought to
every corner entry, Allmendinger pulls close.
But what he's obviously passed on to his teammates.
Wow.
Jeb Burton, Justin Haley, both finishing top 10 in each of our road course races.
Damn, he's got Cindric all jacked up right now, looking for a way to get around him.
It's the transfer to those guys around him, but the focus right now, no doubt on the 16, he is there, Jay.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a lead change right here.
Cindric, and look, when you give a couple of those little bumps, that's like, look,
there you go. Allmendinger takes the lead. Looking good.
He knows that AJ's car is just a little bit better than his at this point in the race.
And Gibbs is hanging tight too, Mike.
Yeah, it's just everything you hope for. Reorganization, guys that have adjustments to come. Think about that. The more experienced road racers, Jamie, they'll be able to tell their team what they're feeling and maybe get an advantage when they make that pit stop. And that's something else I'm really interested in. Strategy. How will these guys play around those pit road rules you mentioned earlier, Adam?
Yeah, one thing about
10 to go in stage one. We've definitely got the 3 best cars. Make that 4 best, because here comes Haley passing Harrison Burton. And like I said, Haley's looked really good all race long. He's going to have to outdrive Allmendinger and Cindric. I don't know if he's got that in him, but
I always felt like as a driver when I came to a track like this, I knew they could maybe give me some grip.
the top 4 are definitely the 4 best here today. If he can make this pass on Burton. Harrison Burton's giving him shit right now. That's opened up the door for Hemrick. Haley couldn't make the pass on Burton.
And 6, you got Harrison Burton, Justin Haley, and Daniel Hemrick. Let's get a report on the 11. Here's Jamie Howe.
We talk about the strategy. One driver you just mentioned, Justin Haley. They're going for stage points right now. They are still within the top 10, but they're back.
For some reason, Michael, I feel like that's a risky prop bet. I don't trust Herbst to do anything. Where's Clements running right now?
Later on, they said they are going to stay.
I'm looking at the ticker. Clements is 14th, Herbst is 9th.
Strategies here in regards to some of the teams pitting with about 3 laps to go. As far as the 22 of Austin Cindric is concerned, his crew chief Brian Wilson told me earlier today they're looking for points in that first stage. He said we could change our mind as we near the end of the stage. He said, but I think I'm going to go for points here in the
You go for points in the first stage, and then you give them up in the second to set you up for the third stage.
Season championship, and if you do that, that's worth 15 playoff points, and that's top of the list of goals for this 22 team.
You know what I love, Jamie? There's 10 different agendas. Do I need points? Do I want to win a stage? What am I going to do?
Michael Waltrip, all these agendas are very confusing. Allmendinger's gapped Cindric by almost 2 seconds.
They have the playbook in front of them, looking at every scenario that could possibly dictate what they decide to do.
Yeah, the unique thing about road course racing is that if you're going for the win, you're probably not going to get the stage points because of the way you're going to have to do your pit strategy. So for us to watch this, they said some are going to go for points, but I think when you look at Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, maybe Ty Gibbs, clearly going to go for the win.
Vince mentioned Cindric going for points in the opening stage. He's already got 20 playoff points. I mean, how many do you need? He's second on track right now behind AJ Allmendinger.
I'm surprised it took Allmendinger that long to get the lead. Fuck. I feel like I've been coughing for a week. Every time I eat, every time I go outside, if I start streaming and start talking a lot. Dude, when I was in, I think around 4th grade, 5th grade, and through middle school, NASCAR was still extremely popular. By the way, Haley is shoving Harrison Burton around and finally makes the pass. I think Harrison just let him go. But anyway, I live in North Carolina, and at NASCAR's peak, everybody around here fucking loved it. Everybody. I remember going to school. Everybody, the day after races, we'd be talking about the race. From the time I was in like 3rd grade all the way through like 8th grade. It was like, see the race yesterday, blah, blah. It wasn't just me. Like, I had a couple of friends. One of my best friends in school was this guy, Brandon. He was like the only other NASCAR fan in the school that was like on my level of being a fan. Like, everybody else was kind of a casual, but still loved to watch him. Wow, Harrison Burton. Oh, Burton just did a Gregson. He did a 4-wheel slide off of turn 1, and he's tore his shit up now. Burton's done. I don't know if he's done for the day, but god damn, he just slid off 4 wheels right where Gregson tore his stuff up at. He was really feeling the pressure from Haley the lap before, and Haley made the pass, and then Hemrick was all over him, and then I think Harrison just pushed too hard, and now he's tore that shit up pretty bad.
Closing on the end of stage 1 at Mid-Ohio for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. While we were
It's not terminal, it's just body damage, but that's bad. Now here's the lap before with him and Haley. This was during the side-by-side. Haley was like, no, God damn it, get out of my way.
Watch this great move by Haley. Hops to the inside. Jamie, you mentioned it during break. Harrison Burton has been kind of holding these guys up, and Haley took advantage of that.
He has been, and that hasn't been
Once again, a race of attrition, and driver error takes Harrison Burton out.
Just got a little bit wide right there, Michael. Huge amount of dirt in the splitter.
You should not be able to tear your car up by touching the grass, okay? That should not ruin his day, but it did.
Interesting that first corner is causing our guys so much trouble. Obviously, there's not much margin for error there.
Jason Ratcliffe is the crew chief. And, he continued on.
Tough break. Alex Labay in the top 10 now. Burton's got a flat right front, splitter all messed up. He's going to make it to pit road, I think. Or is he? He's slowing down pretty bad over here. Oh, he can't get there. The 78 almost hit him. God, what was he doing? You got to go wide to get to that pit road. But Harrison made it. Barely. Yeah, dude, in elementary school, middle school, being a NASCAR fan was totally cool. Like, nobody looked at you weird. It was that popular. It didn't become weird until high school, because NASCAR's popularity kind of died around 2009, and I was in high school at that point. And, yeah, I got weird looks for liking NASCAR after that. But up until that point, no, it was not weird at all. When you're in North Carolina, it's different. NASCAR stuff is in our local newspaper here. To this day, where I live, we have NASCAR stuff in our local newspaper. And it's covered on the local news. No matter where they're racing at, Cup and Xfinity and all that are covered on my local news.
Yeah, and I think one of the issues that we see here is it looks like there's just splitter damage.
And the Jimmy Means race shop is like a couple of streets over from where I'm sitting right now. It's out behind a Bojangles.
The clock of what NASCAR allows drivers to have on pit road, but I'm with Vince. I don't see any way they're going to get that fixed where he can maintain a minimum speed.
You get 6 minutes to work on these cars, Mike.
5 to go stage 1. Allmendinger's got a 3-second lead on Cindric. What's Allmendinger going to do? Get the points in stage 1 and then do the opposite for stage 2?
Do you give them more time because the guys going over the wall aren't used to repairing the damage? They said, no, the rules didn't change in that regard, and with that, it's going to be very tough for Harrison to continue.
Andy Lally in 11th place. He just passed Brandon Brown. Andy Lally under the radar, driving the 23.
Gets around Brandon Brown there for the 11th position.
No, I never see anything about modifieds. I don't even see local racing in our paper, but we still get NASCAR stuff in the paper. Our local newspaper prints a NASCAR schedule every year. They have like a big paper that unfolds, like it's really long, and it's got all the races on it.
That's great. And just in front of him, another great story of an accomplished road racer, and that would be Alex Labay. I'd love to see Lally and Labay have a good day because they're two really good
Well,
guys.
Labay's 10th and Lally's 11th.
When it comes to this style of racing, Jamie.
You mentioned that he said this could be his last race unless they find some funding. He said he goes into every single one of these Xfinity races thinking that it could be his very last one. So every single one of them, he wants to go out and do his best. To the point he keeps a very meticulous list of notes. He showed me this list this morning that he has for here at Mid-Ohio, and he goes corner by corner. He even says, hey, future self, you tried this, it didn't work. You're going to want to do it again, but don't do it. He reads through that before the race each morning. He said today he feels more prepared.
Who has time to write, record your thoughts?
Boy, I've never referred to myself.
What kind of notes did you take, buddy?
And I said to myself, self, don't overdrive this corner.
Yeah, I know you talk to yourself. Did you take notes like that?
Hello, future self. How are you today?
I was doing practice with Michael at Charlotte last weekend. He was talking to himself, and we were on the air. I'm like, Michael, you're hitting the wrong button. You got to hit the mute when you're talking to yourself.
We talked about Jeremy Clemens.
He's putting Michael Waltrip on blast for sounding like an idiot on broadcast.
Early as well. 14th position, but he's knocking on the door.
Yeah, DFS, if you grew up in North Carolina, it wouldn't have been weird at all. I've always wore it on my sleeve. I don't even hesitate. I never hide anything, whether it was pro wrestling, the video games, the cartoons and shit that I like, racing. I never once shied away from it. I always wore it on my sleeve. We got Ty Gibbs and Daniel Hemrick on pit road with 3 to go on the stage. Andy Lally as well. They're playing for track position, not points. Fuel only for Ty Gibbs. Oh, wait, it's that standalone weekend pit bullshit. What the fuck? I forgot about that. Because for standalone race weekends, you can't get fuel and tires on the same stop. I don't know why. I forgot that this was a thing. This totally fucking snuck up on me. Anyway. I was like, gas only? What? It's like, okay. Shit, I would have changed tires right now. Wouldn't it make more sense to change tires now and then take gas into the caution? I don't know.
Or will they come? And we're going to close the road with 2 to go here, Michael.
Yeah, we heard Vince talk about Cedric. He was going to stay out, was the early plan about getting those stage points. So it'd be interesting to see if they were pulling Vince's leg or if that's indeed what they do. I thought the interesting guy on pit road there was Daniel Hemrick. That shows you confidence, Adam. They said, we don't have to have stage points. We are fast enough. We will win races. And to put ourselves in the best position to win that race, they pitted with those guys. Ty Gibbs doesn't run all the races. Their strategy's a bit different.
Well, and I will say this, Dave Rogers, the crew chief of the Daniel Hemrick camp, he's someone who's been very successful when it comes to road racing and calling the strategy from the box. And when you look at Hemrick...
Yeah, I'm a NASCAR fan, but I don't know jack shit about cars. There goes Harrison Burton to the garage, obviously.
See Harrison Burton pushing his car to the garage. He's done for the day. Racing on track, Riley Herbst and Brandon Jones.
Herbst and Brandon Jones.
Experience yesterday evening in the ARCA race.
Herbst looks like he's faster right now, Adam. Really heating up the 19 of Jones. Can't seem to make the pass, but got a little bit better car right now. I think we've seen everything we're going to see strategy-wise. Guys that are taking a chance. It'll be fun to watch how this cycles out, McMurray.
You mentioned Gibbs and Hemrick, also making pit stops. Myatt Snyder, Andy Lally.
I think this alternate pit procedure on standalone races is fucking retarded. And if your pit crew's not fast enough, then too goddamn bad. It's racing. That's your fault for not bringing a good crew.
We didn't have that many guys get off sequence, so for these guys to stay out and get the stage points, it's not going to be that big of a deficit for them.
We're on the last lap of the stage. Allmendinger 3.5 seconds ahead. Allmendinger and Cedric are a good 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. See, Allmendinger's 3.5 seconds ahead of Cedric, and behind them is Haley about 11 seconds back.
They'll start up front when it's all said and done. We'll see who's able to make those passes and get back to the front.
Hopefully Allmendinger and Cedric don't do anything stupid on the last lap of this stage like they did on the Daytona road course. I still can't get over that mess.
There's nothing more aggravating than have a guy on your bumper, because every turn gets done here and drives off, he's got to feel really good about the way that car's handling, but also he can focus on the track and getting to this green and white checkered flag.
How about today for Colin? And AJ's leading, and he's taking all the headlines, right? But 3 of the top 4.
All eyes are on Allmendinger, but I'm watching Justin Haley. Oh, Miguel Paludo's in the sand. Miguel Paludo's stuck in the sand up against a tire barrier.
That team used the strategy.
Oh, maybe he's not stuck. He's rolling. He's rolling. He's rolling in his tire tracks he spun out in. He might not be stuck. And he made it out. Miguel Paludo took a trip through the sand and made it out. Save your blanket and suntan lotion. He got off the beach. AJ Allmendinger wins stage 1. Cindric second. And in about 12 seconds, Justin Haley's going to come through for third. Never forget those classic Watkins Glen races, 2011 and 2012. We get trucks at Watkins Glen this year.
25 laps in the books in Mid-Ohio. An entertaining opening stage. And Allmendinger able to win.
Ow. Oh my God, shut up. Well, you got to remember, people don't get to decide where they get to go. Crafton can't just say, I'm going to go drive for Kyle Busch now. Like, you got to remember, people just can't decide. Hey, Jeremy Clements, top 10. But Riley Herbst is still winning that prop bet for Michael. We finally made it to stage 2, 51 minutes into the race. I like looking at this leaderboard so I can see how much time's gone by after a while. I think Crafton, the next time he leaves Store Sport, he'll step away from full-time trucks. He'll be racing other shit, but I figure the day he leaves Store Sport, he'll no longer be full-time in trucks.
Stage 1 complete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Mid-Ohio.
I always would have liked to have seen Crafton run some Xfinity races, more Xfinity races. Remember, he ran the 2015 Daytona 500 when Kyle Busch broke his legs.
I'm Adam Alexander, and now we take a look at our Ford Performance track facts. And it's all about Ford at Mid-Ohio. They've won here 4 times. And the one of these that does not really belong is Chris Buescher. I'm not being mean to Chris, but when he won here, he was driving for Jack Roush. All the other victories in the Ford camp for the captain, Roger Penske. When Buescher won here in 14, it was the first win of his career, and went on to have an unbelievable season, then came back and won the championship in 2015.
See Cindric there with his hand out the window, get a little fresh air in. What's the plan here? I guess you hit once and get your tires. If you hadn't hit it already, you come back and get some gas, Jamie?
Well, Michael, what I have learned but it's a lot harder to figure out unless you're on one of these teams.
What he said was not even that funny.
Yeah, it's so confusing. You know that all these teams have spent all week kind of going through all the different scenarios of how it's going to play out.
I still don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know this fucking retarded pit procedure. I was just thinking before the race, man, I love when the Xfinity Series has a standalone race. I love the way it feels. Like it feels like a bigger deal when they're on their own at a racetrack by themselves. But then I remembered just now, oh yeah, they can't take fuel and tires on the same fucking stop or something. Like,
Pit road is open and most everybody making a stop here. Jamie Howe.
And Justin Haley, one of those running within the top 5. His message to the team over the radio was that it is really, really tight. He said his rear drive is okay. Doesn't know what to do with his brake bias at this point in the run. He said he really needs to be able to use it, but the car is just so tight. He doesn't have a lot for it right now. Now, this is a little bit of a different strategy because they were going to do fuel on the first stop, take tires the next time by, but they've switched it up. Vince Welch.
A.J. Allmendinger put the tires on first as well, getting a little inspiration from friend Mike Shank, a car owner for the Indy 500 winner Elio Castroneves, who's here watching A.J. today. And up front is Austin Cindric, and of course, what a great season it has been for Cindric. He pitted from the second position, and he's leading in all the categories: most wins, most laps led, stage points, playoff points. He needed a little better turn on the short run, so they're making an air pressure adjustment on the 22.
And a reminder, these are
an odd-numbered car. Well, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., they drive odd numbers. Kyle Larson drives an odd number. Denny Hamlin. I think it's a pretty good shot, Michael.
And you have much more time, 70 seconds.
What a weird bet.
Under caution, and then once you're done, you go back to the track, and you will restart at the same position as you were running when the caution came out.
Whatever, I'm not paying attention to these fucking pit stops. Just line them up and let me know when you want to go race again. With this retarded-ass fucking procedure.
Everything here, because as we know, prior to the caution coming out, some teams had already come down and taken on fuel. They will just do tires here and make it a one-stop trip under this caution at the end of stage 1. Miguel Paludo, who spun and got into the gravel, is our free pass car, and we'll set the lineup when we come back to Mid-Ohio.
I'm going to scroll Twitter and see if anybody's commenting about this stupidity. See, the West Series is racing that at Sonoma. I hate I'm missing that. I can't wait to watch Sonoma tomorrow. I have missed Sonoma. I have really, really missed Sonoma. Shout out to Brock Beard. Nobody's missed Sonoma more than Brock Beard. He made a whole video about it, and it was really cool. And I'm happy that he gets to go back there this weekend. I'd like to make the trip to Sonoma one day myself. Maybe I will one day. Next year's bucket list. Like I said, I'm not going to do Bristol this year like we talked about. We're just going to do Daytona instead in August. But next year, Bristol and Martinsville maybe. I want to say Talladega. But I figure we can only do 2 races that are kind of far away. Not that Bristol and Martinsville are that far away, but like Darlington wasn't either. But, you know, because I'm gonna do the 600 again and do the Roval, obviously. But maybe 2 other races at places I've never really been to before. One of these days I'll go to the Daytona 500. I would hate more than anything not streaming the Daytona 500, even though I'd be there. Maybe Daytona 500 someday, like the race I can save for when I get 1,000 subs and we can stream from my phone at the racetrack. That'd be fun. Did I see Slap's new video about Bill Elliott? Not yet. Not yet. I did watch Brock Beard's newest episodes of The Field Fillers about Carl Long. Fascinating story there. Really makes me appreciate the back markers. That's been the great thing about the rise of the Field Filler series, is that you learn a lot about the back marker teams and drivers. I became a Carl Long fan after watching those last couple of videos. I always have them on when I'm playing like NASCAR 2005. I'll turn on like Brock Beard stuff and just have it on, listening to it while I play. So yeah, Brock Beard, that's a cool dude. He makes great videos. Brock Beard and Slap Shoes are my favorites. I enjoy the NASCAR Weekly podcast as well. It's good to hear people in my age group talking about racing instead of a bunch of whiny old boomer fucks on Facebook or something. And we're back.
Enter Clint's Fox Bet Super 6 Stage 2 contest. For tomorrow's race at Sonoma, it's your chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money. Just download the app and pick 6 race outcomes about Stage 2 for your shot to win. It's free to play. Don't miss out. Play now while there's still time.
And while there's still cash left.
Yeah.
He must have a lot of money. He's been giving a lot away this year.
Clint's like, win my money! God, Clint Boyer's gotten really annoying, hasn't he?
I'm going to say, Michael, that they added that cash below his hands. I'm going to say that was not the
He
same
didn't
time.
really feel like,
I don't think
he
so,
was
no.
giving it away.
Just pose for the picture. Come on,
Come here,
smile,
come here.
Clint. Yeah. He had no idea how television
Did they just come from commercial to go back to commercial? Is that what we're doing? That is exactly what they're doing. They came back for commercial to say, hey, win Clint's money, and now they're going back to commercial. It's like, okay. Man, Hendrick should have finished 1, 2, 3, 4 again last week. I'm still mad that Kyle Busch was getting up in there fucking that up. When Kyle Busch started getting closer and closer through pit stops, I got really nervous for Larson at the start of stage 4 last week. I was like, oh boy, I'll lose the race on pit road or something. At least the battle for second gave me something to watch at the end of that race last Sunday night. I admit I'm dumb enough to have not understood what DI9 was supposed to mean. You know, the hashtag for Chase Elliott? It means dig. I used to see that and go, DI9, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, I'm a dumbass sometimes. Alright, let's go green sometime this century for stage 2.
Stage 1 complete. Just about ready for our second stage.
The race is going to be unnecessarily long today.
Second was Austin Cindric, so we're a bit late. But let's go from the driver's seat with our defending champion.
Yeah, I love the driver's seat. We talked about what it looked like. Look at that. That's just a great view. I'm going to tell him I'm jealous. Hello, Austin Cindric. It's Michael Waltrip and the Fox Boys. Do you copy?
Oh boy.
I don't like that dinger.
I don't think it's good when it beeps.
They don't know how to work a
Hello,
radio.
Austin Cindric, Michael Waltrip and the boys from Fox. Do you copy?
I think he did. He pressed the button.
I told you not to put Michael in charge of the radio. I knew that was the problem.
Can we try the dinger? See if
Well,
Elaine's
I was going to
call?
say that the dinger's bad for you and Cindric. I mean,
So we got Gibbs, Hemrick, Snyder, Andy Lally, Ryan Sieg up front.
Let's talk.
AJ Allmendinger, Cindric, and Haley behind them.
Feel good about
Their strategy's got this top 5 up front. The real race seems like it's in 6th place with Allmendinger and Cindric.
Hey, while you're thinking about that, a couple of penalties. Brandon Brown speeding on pit
If
road.
Kurt Busch moves to 23-11, that's great for that team.
Couldn't afford to have a penalty.
However,
Where he is.
I fear that it will totally expose Bubba Wallace
Another guy, Jeremy
when Kurt shows up and starts doing really well right away, because he will.
on pit road, so they lose their position.
Happy that Kurt Busch is not going away. I think Kurt's got a lot left in the tank. I think Ryan Newman does as well. I hope Ryan Newman doesn't disappear. We need guys like Kurt, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, the old guard, to hang around a while longer. I feel like we lost Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart way too soon, so we need some of the older guys to keep hanging around. I hope Harvick and Kurt Busch especially, I hope they hang around for a very long time. Like into their 50s, like Mark Martin.
The reason why we couldn't talk to Austin is we got spotters everywhere, Adam, and 3 or 4 around this racetrack, and so they're constantly communicating with the driver, and we get drowned out by the spotters. So Austin, we talked to him in break. He was ready to talk to us.
They override us, huh?
We got overruled.
Are you saying it's not your fault?
It's not my
Going green at the completion of lap 30.
All Joe Gibbs Racing front row as we begin
Gibbs,
the second
Hemrick,
stage.
Snyder, Lally,
Number
Sieg, and Allmendinger.
18 is Hemrick. Here we go once again.
Can Allmendinger make quick work of these guys? I think Ty Gibbs is going to be pretty fast, though.
For sure. We've seen 2 guys do it today.
Ty Gibbs is going to be hard to beat here.
approach for the front row through turn
You
1.
get him out front.
Andy Lally up in that
Good
second
luck.
row. It's cool to see Andy up front. Mike Schneider with a good run as well.
Hemrick's to Ty's outside going to the keyhole.
These guys are really jostling for positions. A lot of differing strategies. It'll be interesting to see when we run a few laps.
Allmendinger's going to make the pass on Ryan Sieg. That gets Allmendinger back into the top 5.
On board with Cindric, you know he's got an eye on
So that's
that
1 down
16.
for
Doesn't want to
Allmendinger.
get too far away in traffic as they
Cindric
work towards the front
stuck
of the pack.
side
And
by
here
side
comes
with
Cindric,
Haley.
maybe looking to the inside. He thinks better of it on his teammate in turn 4.
Yeah, Hemrick looked really good actually down into the keyhole as well. It seemed like Ty was maybe being just a little bit cautious. It's so much easier to be the car behind when you're trying to outbrake somebody.
Justin Allgaier on pit road.
Allgaier pitting? What's that about?
Maybe
He's going to the garage. Allgaier went to the garage. Well, there goes Justin Allgaier. Like I said, race of attrition. A lot of mid-level backmarker teams are going to have a shot at good finishes today with all these guys falling out of the race.
Steve Allgaier, one of them right here at Mid-Ohio 2018, but it's not going to happen for him today.
You know, I talked about
Look at Cindric trying to find a way around Allmendinger before they can get through this traffic.
And Cindric staying out, the penalty wasn't as big as what we could have seen. As you know, if you had 15 or 20 cars stay out, both those guys up in the top 6 right now, in pretty good position, only 2 or 3 seconds behind Ty Gibbs, who's leading this. So I think they're still in pretty good position for this stage.
You know the one advantage they have, though, Michael, is when you're up front like that with pit road closing at 2 to go, most teams had to make that decision.
Allmendinger made the pass on Lally.
So they can monitor
So he's
what
4th
Jamie's
now.
talking about, see what everybody else is doing and know if it's worth it to
He's
stay
making a
out.
little better time than Cindric. That's the real race, I feel like.
Transmission issue. They were up on the jack stand and under the back of the car. So that's probably nothing right or wrong under the hood, but a driveline issue. But then, Jamie, you talked about it earlier.
Cindric under Lally. Tries to outbrake him. Hits the curb. Lally was taking a defensive line there to try to block the spot. Now Cindric's putting the bumper to him. Down the hill. He's not happy that Lally took that defensive line there. What's with this fucking onboard camera on Cindric? It has like no contrast. It looks really dark. Lally's driving hard to try to stay in front of Cindric. He didn't put up a fight like that with Allmendinger, but he's racing Cindric really hard.
It's funny you talk about the aggression, Jamie, because I feel like everybody has been somewhat on the unaggressive side today, given the length of this race and how tight it is. We say it's the short track.
Allmendinger setting up Snyder to pass him at turn 1 maybe, or maybe coming out of turn 1. Heading towards the keyhole. He's going to make this pass, I think. Cindric still can't get past Andy Lally. Now he got him to the outside. He's going to try to outbrake him going to the keyhole. Allmendinger looking underneath Snyder, and Justin Haley's taking Lally and Cindric 3 wide. Wow, Justin Haley's passing both of them. Oh, no, he can't. Cindric gets around the outside, but Haley passes Lally as well. I thought Haley was going to pass on both at the same time. As Allmendinger is going to complete the pass on Snyder for third. Boy, Haley just, when Justin Haley sees an opening, he takes it. If he sees even the slightest bobble by the car in front of him, he's putting his nose in there. No matter how shallow he has to go in or in the corner.
Well, and part of the reason that happened is that Austin Cindric tried to get to the inside of Andy Lally going into turn 1, and that messed up the run that both of those cars had on the exit of turn 2, and it gave Justin Haley the opportunity to try to get both of them in one corner.
That was cool. How much of a move like that is planned and manufactured versus you're getting down into turn 2?
Now Cindric's having to work over Snyder. Allmendinger. He's going to pass Hemrick at the exact same spot he's passed almost everybody since the restart. He's setting him up for going to the keyhole. He spends the entire lap before setting up the car in front of him, and then he gets him right over here. Let's see if Hemrick gives it to him before he takes a defensive line. No, he gives it to him. Allmendinger's to his inside. And move A.J. Allmendinger to second. Now he's got Hemrick and Snyder between him and Cindric. Allmendinger's making great time on this run. Really great time. Ty Gibbs has got about a 2-second lead.
They saw the significance of it. Well, it's been a tough day for junior motorsports, right? Noah Gregson wrecks out over
Cindric passes Snyder now. Moves Cindric to fourth.
Miguel Paludo at one point got into the sand. He has recovered, got the free pass back on the lead lap. But across the board, they've had some tough times today at Mid-Ohio.
I believe that's gravel, Adam. I believe it's a gravel.
Sand, gravel, kitty litter, whatever you want.
Kitty litter. I always like calling it the kitty litter. And the rumble strips are ripple strips. That's what Rusty Wallace always called them. Ripple strips. I want to know what the fuck a ripple strip is. Hey, Rusty Wallace, you want to go watch a race at Talladega and then go drive some road courses and see how the ripple strips affect the car? Ripple strips and Talladega, the Rusty Wallace School of Vocabulary. Told you them people from St. Louis are weird, man. Man, Justin Haley's really aggressive, but he's just been a step behind Cindric and Allmendinger all day long. Please God, I hope I can take a nap after this race, or I'm just not going to get through work tonight. I need the money. I love how I'll sacrifice happiness for money. Seriously, next time they show Cindric's onboard camera, look at how there's like no color. He's carrying like a 1995 onboard camera while everybody else has the 2021s. Oh, well, the 31's off into the sand. I don't even know who's in the 31 this week. Who's in the 31? Can't even see the name. Well, remember Kurt Busch's bonsai move at COTA when he almost wiped out his brother? Oh, my God. That's what that reminded me of just now, because the 31 had to drive around the sand and back onto the racetrack. Oh, my! Snyder got into the side of Jeff Burton. Burton passed him, and then Snyder tried to cross him over, and he hit the gas and got sideways and run into the side of him, but they keep it together.
While we were away, you saw Josh Berry off track into 31. He was able to avoid the gravel, right, Jamie, and get back on track. And saw some
why is that 78 so slow?
Snyder, Jeff Burton going at it. Brandon Jones right in the mix.
Yeah, Jeff Burton's been really good into turn 2 on the restarts. He's been able to outrake a lot of cars, make up a lot of ground. And you mentioned earlier, the call-up cars have been pretty fast today.
I think these guys have to give a lot watch the replay here as Burton out dives Snyder, but then takes the whole road away from him. Mine's like, hey man, I gave you room. What about me? But what do you think? When you got a guy, accomplished road racer like AJ Allmendinger, it just helps the whole organization.
Well, yeah, they've talked about that for years. When AJ first came over, he talked. He said, look, our cars are not good right now. And he and Chris Rice, everybody at College Racing, has worked really hard to develop a good road racing program. And we're seeing that pay off today because all of those cars are quick.
What's crazy is last summer, when you thought of College, you thought of them on the super speedways, right? Because of all their success in Daytona.
Ty Gibbs still leading comfortably. I knew if he got out front, he would not be at a disadvantage. He would drive away. It's a 3-car race. Gibbs, Allmendinger, Cindric. Allmendinger's making the best time. Gibbs has the track position.
It's not unusual at all for us to see it up front, right? Especially at the road courses. The 54 is 2 for 2 on the road courses this season. There's Chris Gale, the crew chief, on the right-hand side of the screen. I asked Chris about the 18-year-old driver, Gibbs. I said, what do you think? He said, we're still trying to figure him out. He said, this is just our 7th race together. He said, I've learned a lot of guys can go fast, but he definitely has a fearlessness about making the pass and doing it efficiently. And he knows how to tailor that aggressiveness. He is just 18, but he said, I'd certainly like to have that kind of driver at 18 running for the top 5 and wins versus learning by running 25th. Can understand that, Jamie.
Alex Levine just moved up to that 12th position on that last lap. He started this
Andy Lally still in the top 10. Herbst in the top 10. I can't believe it. On a road course, nonetheless.
Mario Gosselin made the decision to go up on the rear tire pressures as well as the track bars to give him a little bit of better turn.
I'm glad this stage has gone caution-free thus far.
Fun to watch too. Nobody gives more than Mario Gosselin and that whole organization, and then seeing Alex being able to show his skills on the road courses, that's fun.
Well, all 3 of Mario's cars in the top 20 right now. You got Preston Parks back there, 17th. Josh Williams, I know one of your good buddies in 18th, Michael. It's fun to watch them have success. Labay trying to get another spot as he dives inside of Ryan Sieg. That's for 11th on track.
Well, that was a nice move.
Whoa, we got a big cloud of dust. What the fuck happened over there? The Fox totally missed it. There was such a cloud of dust, somebody had to be completely off the track. I think Ty Gibbs will be full-time next year as well, DFS. I wonder if he'll just skip trucks and go right to Xfinity. That's probably a while. Honestly, Ty Gibbs is progressing so fast. I think he should be full-time Xfinity, part-time trucks. Run about 3, maybe 4 years of Xfinity. He doesn't need to be full-time at trucks. Hell, ARCA's a waste of his fucking time. He's progressing that fast. I don't want to Joey Logano his ass and rush him to Cup, but I think he should skip trucks and go right to Xfinity.
Because I feel like he spent that first stage kind of learning. They did the strategy. They needed to get the lead. And
part-time trucks, full-time Xfinity. That's what he should be for the next 3 or 4 years.
Kind of depends on how they catch lap traffic, but Ty Gibbs, again, doing an amazing job.
And by the time he gets to Cup, Gibbs will have that next generation car well figured out. Everybody will.
If you're the 16 and the 22, do things different here?
I think they're going to kind of. I think the 54 and the 22, the 16 are all going to kind of watch each other because that's the race, and they know they need to all stay near each other. So I think they're going to kind of react off what the other does.
I'm going to guess they're all going to go for the win at the end, so they're going to give up the second stage. Would be my prediction.
We will wait and see, and likely won't know for another 6, 7, 8 laps. Jamie Howe.
As we see Brett Moffitt in that O2 machine still on track. They said their focus right now is going to be more on track position, with the stages being equal lengths than the tire.
I think Ty just gets, they make that 54 full time.
A top 5 result he said would be great for this organization. It'd be wonderful.
I don't know. If he was going to replace somebody, it would probably be Hemrick. It should be Brandon Jones. They should bump Brandon Jones and put Gibbs in that car, but they won't do it.
It just wasn't hard enough. He said it was putting too much force in, not getting enough out of it. They worked on that back at the shop.
Yeah, good call. Part-time in the 51, full-time in an 18 car in Xfinity. Or the 19. If the universe is fair, it would be the 19, but whatever. Life isn't fair.
Hi, Mike. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm sitting in the infield of this place that I've never seen before, just trying to figure it out. He sounded like Barbecue Bob. He has an alter ego.
I wouldn't want to see Hemrick be one and done in this 18 car. I think they can do a lot with Hemrick.
Because we didn't race here last year.
Just got to stick with it. Fuck, if Dale Jr. sticks with Michael Annette, Joe Gibbs should stick with Daniel Hemrick.
When you're racing at a track that you've never seen, and
Brandon Jones has had his chances.
To go around is when the green flag goes in the air.
And then the result in the first turn.
Brandon Jones is one of the worst drivers to ever win multiple races in this series.
You know, guys, going back to the leaders, Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger. Gibbs did pit, 2 or 3 laps earlier, so a few more laps on his tires than what AJ has. And it seems like he's kind of hit that point where the lap times are starting to fall off. AJ's been able to hold on.
Yeah, AJ is reeling in Ty Gibbs. They're coming to 10 to go in this stage. AJ will get this lead. Like I said, they're going to pit and play the strategy for the track position at the start of stage 3, but I think AJ is going to chase him down here and get the lead before then. Jeremy Clements is slow. Michael, your prop bet might be complete already. Jeremy Clements is off the pace.
In the corner, and truly he had a problem, but it's obvious now that he is slowed. The 51 with a problem, middle stages of stage 2, Jamie.
You can't go 5 full-time cars, can you? Not in Xfinity. I know you can't in Cup. Can you do that in Xfinity?
Won't even stay on. His crew chief radioed back and said, "We'll be ready for you if you decide to come in, but you make that call."
I don't think you can go 5 full-time cars in any series.
Something add on to something Jamie McMurray was saying just a moment ago about AJ Allmendinger being a little bit quicker than Ty Gibbs, and just before Jamie had mentioned that, they came.
Allmendinger's a lot quicker. He's really reeling him in.
Than you is the 16, and he's getting a little better through turn 4 than you are. See if you can use the curves a little bit more to help you get off that turn. So keep an eye on the 54 and what he does in turn 4. Does he get on those curves a little bit more? They seem to think that's helping Allmendinger get through there and get a little more speed.
Well, the answer is yes. We popped over the curb there, but you know what I'm thankful for if I'm Ty Gibbs? He said turn 4. I know that one. You talk about he's better at 7 or 8. Those all start to run together on me. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, part of the reason that you use more.
I don't know how many turns are here. I know this track very well from driving it in video games, but I don't know how many turns. I've never taken the time to count.
Curve on most of those corners, and typically that just helps the car cut, turn.
Oh yeah, GMS is 5 full-time trucks. You're right, Robert. Good call. We have a caution with 10 to go in stage 2. And we have a caution.
There's the caution flag.
What
Just
for?
to elaborate on AJ's setup, he told me that
Did
a
the
lot of
51 finally stop?
Think about forward bite, Adam, coming off the corner, not spinning your tires. He said this place, with all the twists and turns up through the exit, it's all about.
Yeah, the 51 has stopped. He didn't make it to pit road. He was a couple of turns away from pit road, but now he's not moving.
We could tell with Jeremy earlier, they reported that he was having an electrical issue, and it was like it wouldn't run, and then all of a sudden it would take off. And I know we've waited the whole show to do this.
Here we go. Let's do it.
This is Jamie McMurray to Jamie Howe.
Nicely done. It's much better than what Jeremy Clements is going through right now. He was trying to get it to safe fire. They were having him just wiggle that ignition switch up and down a little bit, and eventually just shut off, and now it died. They're going to have to push him back to pit lane. His crew chief said that they're going to go ahead and take up their time. They're going to take that 5 minutes. They're allowed to work on the car in pit lane, check every connection that they can get to before they make the call to end this race, go back to the garage area, but certainly not a good way to go into stage 3.
9 to go in our second stage. And we believed in another 4 or 5 laps we would start to see some guys making scheduled stops in accordance with their strategy. So what do we think's going to happen here? How do you handle this with this yellow coming late in the stage?
I hate speculating as well, but if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, lap 42 is when they have pitted to try to make it to the end so they can make it on fuel. I think we're going to see guys pit right now, most likely put their fuel in, and then come back at the stage break and put tires on.
13 turns.
That's exactly what I thought you'd say.
I've talked to several crew chiefs.
Boy, they're really laughing today, aren't they?
A smaller handful.
Well, you're definitely right there on the edge of your window to be able to go the rest of the way on fuel if you were to pit now. And like you said, you can come get tires because we're under caution. That's totally a part of the game. Either way, you probably want to make one of your stops here and then do the other at the stage break.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna do one or the other. If they can make it on fuel, I would put my fuel in now because I want those 3 or 4 laps, 5 laps, fresher tires for the next stage. We just talked about Ty Gibbs falling off a little bit. So if I can make it on fuel, and only those crew chiefs know that, that's what I'm going to do right now.
But a lot of times on a road course, even if you can't make it, you go ahead and pit outside of your window because you know you're going to get caution laps.
I think pissed off Kurt Busch is dead and buried. I watched that Kurt Busch Outlaw documentary the other day from like 2013 or whatever. That was a very interesting watch. Boy, Kurt Busch was in a rough place back then.
It is. Well, I'd just rather sit back and watch what they do instead of try to figure it out, because there's a whole lot going on. Many potential scenarios that could play out here.
I just love this battle we have for the win. Lap times so comparable between the top three. Can someone use some strategy to break up this trio? That'll be another question.
Gibbs is leading. Allmendinger won the opening stage. He's second. Cindric, Hemrick, Haley the top five, and the only one of that group pitting here is Austin Cindric. Now, we had gotten word he wanted to pit with 3 to go in the stage. That was the strategy they were thinking of playing out here. In stage 2, they come under caution with 8 remaining, Vince.
Well, for Austin Cindric, it has been a very smooth race so far, just unfolding exactly the way they...
All right, retarded pit procedure. I don't know who's going to line up where.
Every single lap, as they would have hoped. But it is a fuel stop only here. Clean the grill, just a little bit of debris on the front. Got plenty of time, and then look for him to come back and get...
He's packing that thing full of gas.
You could put tires.
You're right about that, Michael. He is having a good run.
They elect to go with fuel, as Vince said. They'll get
We
their
go to
time.
commercial. Oh, man. I want to play NASCAR 05 after the race, but I need to lay down. God damn it, I hate my life. Never get to have any fun anymore. Told y'all my plans for football season. I'm going to lie to them and say I can't work Sunday nights anymore. Just for a couple of months. And then when football season's over, hey, good news, I can start working Sunday nights again. Too many good Sunday night football games for me to miss the last part of the fourth quarter going to work for. So. Man, I stepped outside for like 10 seconds earlier today and immediately came back in because it's just too fucking hot. I can't get over it. Dude, at the 600 last week, it was cold. It was 50 degrees and windy as the sun was going down at the 600. I was cold at Charlotte in May for the 600. You realize how many 600s I've been to where I've just melted in the fucking heat? I was cold in the middle of that race last Sunday night. It was windy, and the breeze off the cars, and the fact that it was cloudy and 50 degrees. It was cold. I never thought I'd have to bring a jacket to Charlotte Motor Speedway, so I didn't bring a jacket. So I sat there and shivered for a little bit. That was the weirdest fucking sensation I've ever felt. I was like, what race am I at? I am at Charlotte in May. How am I not roasting out here? How am I cold? It was a great day, though, honestly. It was not hot. Even when the sun was out during the day, it was only like 70, 75 degrees at most. This time of year in North Carolina, that's a blessing. Yeah, there's Larson winning the 600. That was a dominant performance. And a lot of people, so I saw some people, oh, it's the worst 600 ever. Dude, I've seen worse 600s. 2016 and 2018 were much worse than last week. I was at 2018.
For the NASCAR Xfinity Series, when we return to the green flag, Ty Gibbs is leading. A.J. Allmendinger is second. Daniel Hemrick, Justin Haley, Jeff Burton, the top five.
All right.
Got Brandon Jones up there.
Ty Gibbs, A.J. Allmendinger, Cindric pitted.
Enjoying good runs. The guy we're going to watch on this restart and over the next few laps,
This is going to be interesting.
Came down and got fuel under this caution.
Yeah, I believe his strategy, the fuel is close, but with the caution flaps for the stage break, I believe his strategy will put him in the lead.
Cindric's in good shape here strategy-wise. Allmendinger and Gibbs are going to have more security on fuel mileage, but like Mikey was saying, the caution laps are going to get Cindric to his number.
Front row.
Better hope there's no overtimes, though. Green flag, 7 to go, stage 2. Gibbs gets a really good restart.
He's going to hope that Hemrick can hold him up just a little bit on the exit of 2 here. And he's gonna
Boy, they're coming up on Clements really fast.
Super aggressive drive down here.
Another super aggressive driver is Justin.
And Allmendinger to the inside of Gibbs at the keyhole, and he takes the lead. Justin Haley, of course, sticks his nose in there as well. Haley through to second. But Cindric, I think, is in the best shape here. As long as he keeps the fenders and the tires and the splitter on his car, he'll be in really good shape. People like Rex, DFS. People love Rex, don't they?
How much is Ty continuing to learn with his limited experience at this track and in these cars?
Haley, wow.
He's learning every time we go green because he's under attack. And right now, right behind him, his teammates, Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick.
Yeah, and the one thing about Ty, I mean, making a 7th start, he's aggressive. He's not intimidated by anybody that he races with. You think about last week at Charlotte with Chase Briscoe. He raced super aggressive, and that's part of what has put him in the position that he's been in to be able to win 2 of these races this year.
And I bet you he's not surprised any lap, Adam.
We've seen a lot of reminders today why splitters are so fucking pointless, and I don't know why NASCAR hangs on to it and refuses to change it.
Man, I would have made that move. That was
I'll never understand.
And he's also doing it very respectfully the way he races.
Colleague 1-2 up front.
His success.
They'll have to pit soon.
Motivate his teammates, right? I mean, if you're Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, you say, I want some of that. And right now it is Jones right behind him on track. In 4th is Allmendinger leads.
What a bound Joe Gibbs racing. Those couple of cars right up front, but I'll continue to harp on Colleague racing. Jeff Burton now into the top.
Oh, we got some dust kicking up over here. Again, they don't comment on it, of course. Yeah, all Cindric has to do here is keep his nose clean. He's in heavy traffic, just no need to push.
You see in our map, top right, where Cindric is in relation to leader A.J. Allmendinger. And that's significant because as we get down to 5, 4, maybe 3 laps to go on the stage, and we anticipate a lot of these guys up front are going to pit under green to get their fuel. That's their strategy play. Cindric might be in position to win the stage, come back, get his tires under caution, and cycle out as the race leader for the final stage. This could be incredible strategy for Brian Wilson and this team.
That was really good strategy for Cindric, guys. I think that's going to work out. Good God, look at the 26.
I don't think every car, some guys are going to stay out and try to win.
Right, had all 4 wheels in the grass going ba-boom, 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 and he came back up on the racetrack. Amazingly didn't hit anyone, but his whole grill is covered in grass.
You said something earlier about Ty Gibbs maybe motivating those other drivers. Without a doubt, when the new guy comes in, who's the rookie, is able to win, that definitely puts pressure on everybody else to get to victory lane. And you're happy for your teammate to win, but you want to be you want to be able to beat him as well. And Ty is definitely put some pressure on him.
And to me, if you're Daniel Hemrick, you want that pressure. You want to be the best. You want somebody down you. I liken it to Austin Dillon in the Cup Series and his teammate Tyler Reddick. They just push each other to be better. And when you have organizations and teammates like that, that's really a good situation.
Justin Haley continues in 2nd, Jamie Howe.
While you're talking about teammates, what about the Colleague Racing teammates? A.J. Allmendinger leading Justin Haley right now. They're going for these stage points. I just talked to Alec Jans. He said, we'd really like to win it. We're thinking that maybe A.J.'s going to come down to get that fuel, but we're not 100% sure. These teams share so much information to the point that those 2 cars are set up nearly identical. But when it comes to what happens on the racetrack, they're holding those decisions close.
Oh, wow, the 18's got a problem. He's got a flat lift rear. The fenders tore off of it.
Of Daniel Hemrick, I mean, it is a broken record for him.
It's over in the S's too. That's a pretty fur piece from pit road. See the damage it does to the car when you tear up one of those Goodyear tires.
Yeah, that'll most likely. You see the crush panels barely hanging on there. Finally came out, and there's so much much damage to that car. The battery is actually located right in front of that. It looks like he is going to make it back to pit road, but maybe some damage to that car. And honestly, if I'm one of those cars that's thinking about pitting, I'm going to try to get on pit road right now. We might get a caution based on the debris that's coming off of his car.
Chris Wright is on pit road.
Well, that's a bummer for the 18. That might bring out a caution. He's shredding debris. Oh, man. The whole left rear is ripped off the side of the 18 now.
Before to go on the stage, I'm like you, Jamie. I think we could get a caution. He makes it back, but boy, he literally
That's
a lot
tough.
of debris. Here he is, Vince.
His race is ruined. Once again, attrition. And that's why guys like Lally and Labay and Pardis are going to be in the top 10. Haley was at 22. God damn it, I should have put the bet on Haley.
And that's certainly the situation they're facing again today. They were running well, but they're not going to get that finish because of the fact that they have suffered some pretty significant damage.
That's more than significant damage.
Crew Chief Dave Rogers is pulling triple duty. He's not only holding there, he's a good look at him bringing the hose back, helping with the tires, also holding the pit sign when Hemrick came in.
And here's Allmendinger to pit road. They beat the caution. There's no caution yet, but there could be for all that debris. They'd be justified throwing a caution. But Gibbs and Allmendinger make it to the pits. So does Lally and Moffitt.
At the end of the stage, the 54 right behind him in that black car. By the way, notice no sponsorship on that 54. I gotta believe there's some companies around the country that are clamoring to get on that car. I wouldn't expect
Daniel Hemrick will never catch a break in his entire fucking career at this rate.
So everybody coming here under green to get fuel. You can't get tires if you make a green flag pit stop, with the exception of the case that we saw with Daniel Hemrick, where you have a problem. They obviously were dealing with a tire issue. In those circumstances, NASCAR will allow you to come down and get tires. And, you know, we saw extended stops for those teams, but keep in mind, when you pit under green, you have to be on the pit lane a minimum of 50 seconds. So a maximum time under caution, a minimum time under green. And
well, at least he doesn't have to drive very long, Robert. There's only going to be about 25 to go. At least he made it through 3/4 of the race. Or 2/3 of the race, excuse me, with those crush panels on.
How long that time is going to be, and they try to time that out, you know, within a second or two.
Looks like Justin Haley's going to go for the stage win. 2 to go, and he's still on track.
You know, they all had someone designated to keep track of those times, and it's all cycled through here. With 2 to go on the stage, we're going to close pit road. Justin Haley stays out. Brandon Jones, Jeff Burton do the same. Riley Hurch, who needs points, and Austin Cindric, who's already made the 1 pit stop in this cycle, is 5th right now.
And, you know, I love the strategy, the way these guys split things a bit around a bit. Because 6, Alex Labay, we've talked about him. 7, Jade Buford up into the mix.
Who do you think Colleague should go with in Cup next year? Colleague's going full-time in Cup. Are they going to go Justin Haley, or are they going to go A.J. Allmendinger? As much as Justin Haley deserves it, I'd just kill to see Allmendinger get one more chance. One more chance in Cup. Especially with all the road courses on the schedule. But it feels like Justin Haley makes a lot of sense to go full-time in Cup with next year. I don't know.
Until it comes time for a win, then it becomes just a little bit more competitive.
Hey, we're talking about Colleague, and bad news for A.J.
Oh my God. A.J. Allmendinger failed to make minimum pit time.
Was somebody there too long? Could they have been quicker? A.J. Allmendinger failed to stay there.
What a stupid fucking rule.
After the caution comes out,
what a stupid fucking rule this is. It just ruined Allmendinger's race. He just ruined Allmendinger's race. Congratulations, Austin Cindric. You just won. Their stupid fucking pit procedure just fucked A.J. Allmendinger out of a win. Congratulations, Cindric. You win. God almighty. What a stupid fucking penalty. Stupid. This is fucking retarded. How about we just pit for 4 tires and gas, and wherever you come out at? Fucking hell. What the fuck?
I saw somebody hold their finger up telling AJ, you know, when to go, and that's so frustrating.
That's such a stupid rule. You can't tell me that's not the dumbest thing you've ever seen.
I was discussing
And this is
the very
NASCAR we're talking about.
scenario
We've seen some
through
stupid
Chief
shit
Ty
before,
Gibbs.
but
And I
that's
asked
really
him what
stupid.
his job was during a pit stop, and he said, I control the stopwatch. And I kind of teased him.
I think
about
Gralla
that.
should
He
get the
said, "No,
Xfinity car.
right. It's a
Whoever
very
leaves the
important
Xfinity
job
Series,
in this
Allmendinger or
sport."
Haley, I think Gralla should get that one. But seriously, they just fucked. AJ Allmendinger can't win this race now. No way he wins this race now. I got fucked again.
Pit road for 50.62 seconds.
Wow.
Just 0.6 of a second to the good. AJ went down and off.
That is
47,
ridiculous.
Like you said, Jamie, so you just can't make that mistake.
Colin gonna sweep the stages.
Justin Haley in stage 2. I'm checking out now because my pick just got fucked by the dumbest rules in NASCAR.
Burton third, Riley Hurts, Austin Cindric, complete top 5.
What a stupid back-asswards fucking rule. Oh, you gotta be on pit road for 50 seconds. He was only on for 47. Oh, fucking retarded. What other racing series in the world would have something like this? Nobody else on Twitter is outraged about this like I am. Because I'm outraged. We all know these pit procedures at this race are fucking stupid. And I was totally blindsided by it today. I checked the IndyCar schedule. I checked it compared to the Cup schedule. I want to watch IndyCar at Detroit, but I'm pretty sure there's an Xfinity race on that day, so I don't know. Like I said, I made a point the other day to see when the next IndyCar races were compared to the Cup races that weekend. I'm not going to stream the IndyCar races, mind you, but I'd like to watch them when I can. I do think IndyCar needs a few more ovals. Come to Charlotte, goddammit. Run 2 doubleheader at Charlotte. Road course one day, oval the next, or whatever. Come on, IndyCar. Fuck Texas, come to Charlotte. Although PJ1, never mind, they can't come to Charlotte because the PJ1 stained that fucking track too, so never mind. I forgot that we ruined Charlotte with PJ1. Nashville Super Speedway announces they will not use PJ1, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you, Nashville. Anyway, stage 2's over. Now we move into the real race. Congratulations, Austin Cindric. Cindric's going to come out of this like a bandit.
To me, the real story here is Austin Cindric. The way they have played the strategy game, scoring 15 points. Doesn't win a stage today, but he's really going to set himself up nicely for the stretch run.
They have had the best balance of getting the most stage points and going to be in a great position. But not knowing how many cautions we're going to have in the final stage, Michael, I think that might be...
Allmendinger's probably going to need a lot of cautions to have any chance whatsoever.
Brian Wilson is really smart, and we said already, told Vince, we're going to be close, but I think they've got this...
And hopefully Cindric will run out of gas. Nothing against Cindric.
I didn't catch it.
I didn't either.
And one of my best buddies is Brian Williams.
Yeah, they should run Iowa and Milwaukee every year,
And let
IndyCar.
me tell you, Brian Wilson, really nice guy. I'm sure he'll forgive you.
One thing that makes me feel good though is we could just hear the in-car of Austin Cindric. He's not shutting the engine off, which makes me think they must have plenty of fuel, right? Or you'd be shutting that off because we normally do that anyway to try to cool the engines down.
But it's a bit of a risky game shutting that engine off. Just ask Marcus Ambrose, as he did that one day.
Oh, Mikey had to bring up Marcos at Sonoma.
Now this is battling.
Brandon Brown spun out the 48, coming to the stage end.
Top 10 for that stage point. Brandon Brown said, I need it worse than you, Jade. Excuse me.
Well, he left the door open, Michael.
He did.
I don't know if he really said I need it worse than you do, but based on where he is in the standings, he does, actually.
He cracked the door. How about that?
But I give credit where credit's due. Brown having a good day, and Buford also having a good day in the top 15.
Yeah, there's so many great stories.
We got the All-Star race next week at Texas, and then we got Nashville, and NBC is back.
I mean, it's hard to make
Get excited. NBC is coming back, starting at Nashville.
It just doesn't work that well. So
I feel like the Atlanta asphalt's too old and unsafe for IndyCar, I agree. And the 51 stopped on track again. Poor Jeremy Clements.
whatever strategy,
Michael, your prop bet is safe.
And the thing that's cool about these rules is that it's mixing things up. Look at our top 10. I mean, you got Haley, who's great. He won this stage, but Labay.
We need to get this race restarted as fast as possible for AJ Allmendinger's sake.
Ellis in the top 10. It gives these guys a chance to get up front and see what it's like to be there. Some of them.
They put a new battery in Jeremy Clements' car earlier. He had that electrical issue, thinking that might fix it. But apparently, that was not the problem. Electrical issues, those are demons. It's really hard to find till you get back to the shop and kind of can take everything out of the car and examine it.
So as we await pit road to open, we remind you of this. The impact of the pandemic on youth sports has been significant. And while recovery has started in some communities, kids most in need are still on the sidelines. Visit goodsports.org to learn how you can help Fox Sports and Good Sports restore play for at-risk youth. And the program
Mikey was defending NASCAR during the Johnny Sauter wreck at Charlotte last week.
And that takes me to free pass.
That was unbelievable.
Caution of the day goes to Jesse Little, scored in
IndyCar at the fairground. Fairground's a little too small. But they could run Nashville Super Speedway and it'd probably be a good race. Better than a NASCAR race.
Spent some time with the Shriners this week, so we thank Jesse for that, doing so many good things for the community and using his platform to give back. And as you look back at 2021, I mean, the last 6 races, we had 6 different winners. 4 times a driver has picked up their first career victory this season. Jeff Burton, Josh Berry, Myatt Snyder. We've talked about Ty Gibbs. And road courses are where it's at. 7 of them this season. It's incredible.
Yeah, we talked about Austin Cindric and his team, his crew chief, Brian Wilson. 5 wins on the road courses. So you have to really think that he's going to be able to be a bit of a difference maker through this stretch of road racing. And I love it, man. These are fun races for me.
One of my favorite parts of the Xfinity Series is getting to see those first wins, whether it's Ty Gibbs being emotional at the infield Daytona road course or Jeff Burton at Talladega. Like, those are memories that I feel like as a fan, that they just, you remember those forever.
And I know you've got to remember your first Xfinity win. It had to be really special to you.
Well, I led the whole race, Michael.
Tell me the rest of the story, because I've only heard.
What about Jamie's first Cup win? Talk about that one.
Green on the last lap, and it allowed me to go on and win that day.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, I thought I remembered IndyCar racing at Nashville.
Oh, is that what it was?
And we spun. And
that's what Jay Buford said just a second ago.
Jamie,
let's get everybody back at Milwaukee.
Jeff Green, who won the championship in 2000.
Yes.
Who is also from Owensboro, Kentucky, just like you, and recently announced his retirement from NASCAR, but he loves it so much he's back on the spotter stand today, right?
I texted him this morning and I said, I thought you retired. And he said, I did. I'm just not very good at it.
I saw Chicagoland's parking lot as being used as a storage space. That's not very promising for the future of that racetrack.
It's just so special. It's all Jeff Green, me.
Pit road's open.
A lot of us have done our whole life.
Pit road is open and the leaders are in. Let's go to Jamie Howe.
Justin Haley, one of
Boy,
the
this caution has gone on forever.
still struggling with it being
IndyCar. Let's just not take anybody to Kentucky. Just knock Kentucky down so nobody's tempted to race there ever again.
Making a decision. They're going to put some wedge in and make an air pressure adjustment just to help him turn. Justin's other complaint was that it is so hot. He said, I need some more.
Unless they want to run a short track race on the front stretch, I don't want to see anybody at Kentucky
Well, the
anymore.
19 of Brandon Jones is in. He pitted from second after that stage. This season been a roller coaster. Several strong runs, but also 4 DNFs and 5 finishes of 33rd or worse. That's why he was only 23 points above the cut line entering today. So they need a good run in that 19. It's a little loose on entry, tight on center.
IndyCar at Homestead. Now you're talking.
Also finished 3rd in that stage. Finished 5th and 10th in the 2
I wish NASCAR had 2 races at Homestead, but we got too many good tracks now. A lot of tracks have to give up a race now because we've got so many good racetracks that want to have NASCAR racing and that we want to see NASCAR run at.
Burton coming to pit road due
Homestead used to look like it was made for Indy cars back when it was flat. Las Vegas as well.
Ryan Sieg elects to stay out, and I don't want to begin to anticipate what their game plan is or how they're going to manage strategy.
Did they say Ryan Sieg stayed out?
Stay out here, and as I understand the
Well, remember, staying out or whatever, taking the lead at Charlotte didn't work out too well for Ryan Sieg. Hopefully he'll have better luck today than he did last week.
So this is their play.
It's interesting to see that they stayed out because they've done this a couple of times this year, and it has not worked out for this team at all. Last week at Charlotte.
Charlotte really didn't work out for Ryan Sieg.
It's not worked out for them.
We'll reset the running order when we come back. The final stage on the way from Mid-Ohio.
Oh, well. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll have to see if it pays off. IndyCar at Michigan is insane, but God, such awesome racing. Ryan Sieg's guys are like, well, this worked so well at Charlotte, let's do it on a road course. At least they probably can't crash as quite as hard as they did last week on a road course. I think how many races is the IndyCar schedule? Like 20 or something? How many races are in the IndyCar schedule? I never counted. I think it should be half ovals, half road courses. Actually, half ovals, and then 1/3 road courses and 1/3 street courses. They have practice, don't they? NASCAR. So if the leaderboard here is correct, I mean, I know Sieg's staying out. Mike Snyder, Ryan Ellis third, Riley Herbst fourth. They're not going to be able to hold up Centric enough for Allmendinger to get anywhere near him, but in my head, my fantasy, they would. Because I feel bad for Allmendinger. That was bullshit. But rules are rules. Caden, I like Auto Club, but if it gets me another short track on the schedule, I'd like to see it as a short track. I'm curious how the next gen car is going to race at Auto Club. Because remember, next year they're going to run Auto Club one last time, and it will be with the next generation car. I want to see how that car runs there. And then we'll decide, hey, are we going to fucking fuck this place up and make it a short track, or are we going to need to make it a short track because the racing's bad? I don't know. I love Auto Club, but I also want another short track. I don't know. I mean, they're selling off part of the property, so it's got to be shrunk down. I'm conflicted about Auto Club, I admit.
For the Xfinity Series from Lexington, Ohio. And what a gorgeous Saturday afternoon it is, and plenty of entertainment in Stage 1 and Stage 2. And there goes the dreaded drop to the rear.
And Allmendinger drops to the rear, coming to 20 to go. We're going to green with 20 to go.
Stay on pit road long enough.
He's going to need some cautions.
This weekend, it's going to be a long climb back to the front for driver 16.
This is bullshit.
Well, and one of those dignitaries, if you will, in the 16 pit box is Mike Shank, the owner of the Indianapolis 500 winning team car driven by Elio Castroneves, here supporting his friend A.J. Allmendinger. First of all, Mike, what was it like to win the Indy 500?
Surreal, still haven't recovered.
NASCAR can't just up and go to Slinger. Slinger doesn't have the facilities to hold a NASCAR race. But they could go somewhere else. They could go to Rockingham.
That's history. It's American history.
Why come here and What is it about supporting your friend A.J. Allmendinger? Why is that important?
You know, AJ and he's driven for me for 15 years.
Robert, I fear that you may be right. The next-gen car, the noses look so vastly different. That Ford looks really slick. That Ford looks like a late model. I feel like that's going to be the car with the advantage. It certainly looks the coolest.
He's doing a hell of a job. Clearly the best out there. Now it's going to get interesting. This penalty is going to put it behind a little bit, but I'm telling you, go from 30th, he can get to the front, and that's why we're here.
He's going to make it exciting, that's for sure. Congratulations again, Mike. Great to see you.
I love the optimism.
I do too. I love the.
I'm not optimistic at all for AJ, but
I cannot wait to
I'm
see
hoping for a miracle.
What this is like with AJ ripping through the field. And, you know, just to be
No,
clear,
it
this
needs
is
the
a bunch of
facilities, dude.
kids
They
that
literally
they-
physically
they-
cannot
a
hold
lot
a
of times
NASCAR
when you
race
think
at
about
Slinger.
being on pit road, having a
It's
problem
not
on pit road,
physically or
sometimes
logistically
drivers
possible.
problem. This is not the case.
Well, and we talked about this in the opening when we broke down the racetrack. Turn 2, when it gets to these late race restarts, is going to be chaotic, and there's probably going to
Oh,
be
hi,
some
other
there.
Robert.
So AJ being in the back is going to want to get all he can in those first couple of laps.
Yeah, NASCAR ran quarter miles in like the fucking 50s, dude. Like,
How we got where we are.
it's a little
We talked
different
about Ryan
now.
Sieg going to break. Okay, they pitted under that caution when Cindric pitted. They got their tires there.
All-star race at Slinger,
Came back
maybe.
under green, got fuel at lap 44.
In an alternate universe, 20 to go. Sieg, Cindric, Snyder, Annette. Cindric's got this race in a fucking bag, dude. This is about to be the most boring last 20 laps you've ever seen. Congratulations, Austin Cindric, on yet another win.
3 and 4 wide, pretty much anytime we glance back that way. That's AJ.
There you go, Cindric out front, race over. Allmendinger's stuck in the shit.
Can he get up to win this race, or is that a stretch?
I think it depends on how many cautions we get, because the cautions.
We need yellow flags,
quite a few more,
or Cindric's just going to drive away for the next 20 laps. There's still a slight chance Cindric could run out of gas, maybe. There's nothing to talk about. Cindric's got the lead. It's over. Ryan Sieg's faring a lot better than he did on the strategy last week at Charlotte. He almost got turned by Mike Snyder. I thought he was a goner, right as I was saying what a good job he was doing. Ty Gibbs has got to work hard to catch Cindric before it's too late. I don't think he's gonna, though. This couldn't have worked out any better for Cindric. This is unbelievable how easy he's got it here. It's going to be the easiest win of his life.
Yeah, right here, Justin Haley's going to try to get back to the right, get as good of a run as he can on this front stretch to try to get by. Now, he did not get a good run there, so then you kind of reset. Now it's all about getting through turn 1, getting a good exit on this corner so you can then try to outbreak him down into the keyhole.
Williams is doing a nice job holding that
He is,
position.
really good job, yeah.
Looked like that car had a lot of grip up off the corner, really bouncing, but yet still.
Yeah, I'm really wondering whether or not Michael Annette's going to challenge Austin Cindric for the lead here, huh?
Resurfacing up toward the front after being caught in the sand.
Well, just in front of Gibbs is one car went off track. Brett Moffitt in the 02 having a productive day, up to 8.
Ty Gibbs is working hard, but it's too late.
We talked a lot about our motorsports today. Andy Lowry,
Can't believe
Brett
Michael
Moffitt.
Annette's second.
Moffitt dives inside
Strategy
the
or
lane.
not, that's ridiculous.
To make their way to 4. Off of there into the
I should go ahead and take my nap now. This fucking race is over.
As we see Landon Castle up there, want to send well wishes to everybody at JD Motorsports. Our condolences. Ryan Lear passed away, and a big part of their organization. So seeing Landon up there, a really good thing. Johnny Davis, such an unbelievable asset to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Heavy hearts for everyone in their organization. So thinking about them.
Yeah, Michael, we talked about that exit of 4 over to Thunder Valley not being a very good passing zone, but Ty Gibbs actually was able to get by both Ryan Ellis and I believe Landon Castle right there.
It's too bad there's not about 3,500 Marcus Lemonis's in the world to pay for all these racetrack renovations that we all talk about. Not enough Marcus Lemonises.
I was going to ask you guys about that. If you're AJ, what What's the balance in this final run of the race of green flag versus caution?
A.J. Allmendinger 17th with 18 to go. He could pass a car a lap and still not get close enough to Cindric.
What's the balance on that as he has now worked his way to 17?
Well, the AJ strong suit all day long has kind of been the long run. And so part of you says, well, he wants to have a longer run. The thing is, the field gets so stretched out that you just can't capitalize as much. He's going to need, I think, 2 or 3 restarts in order to be able to get back up there.
This race is over. Cindric's got a 4-second lead. It's done. Unless he runs out of gas or something. Allmendinger is 16th.
Adam, the tough part is when you have those cautions, it just seems like it takes forever for NASCAR to get things done.
It does. It takes all day. So it's so true.
And it even feels longer when you're fighting back from a penalty like A.J. Allmendinger is.
God, Allmendinger got fucked so hard.
We got to go racing, boys.
Well, I just go back to what Jamie said, though. I mean, you pick off the first 15 or 16, you get all that momentum, and then you kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, I'm going to take that nap.
Drivers that are on in much better race cars, much more level when it comes to the competition that you're trying to pass.
He needs about 1 a lap.
Get a head start on that nap, honestly. And I'll wake up with 1 to go and see how big Cindric's lead is then.
17 laps to go in Mid-Ohio. Cindric leading this thing. Annette, 6.
Yeah, all those Formula One racetracks near Nashville. The Grand Prix of Murfreesboro. We mustn't forget. Oh, they go side by side for a race that's not really a race now. These retarded ass pit procedures literally ruined this entire race. Because this could have been a hell of a battle with Allmendinger, Cindric, and Gibbs. But it's not. It's really not. This race is not even worth watching now because of their stupid fucking pit rules. So, Kamikaze and I agree on something. He said the pit road rules are stupid, have always been stupid. Everyone knows it. There's really no benefit to them. We will eventually use them everywhere because this is NASCAR. He's got a point. It literally ruined this entire fucking race. I knew they were bad, but I didn't think they'd literally ruin an entire race. This is beyond retarded. IndyCar does a lot of things. Wow, Allmendinger passing the 99 and the 98 at the same time. So Allmendinger's doing his part. He's 13th now with 16 to go. Like I said, pass a car every lap and catch a caution late. Who knows? He passed 2 that lap. Kamikaze makes me laugh, even though he's got his head up his ass about a lot of things. You got Ty Gibbs almost ran Mike Snyder right off the track there. That's for 4th. It's too late, Gibbs. Cindric's out of here. It's over.
I love a little side-by-side on FS1 because you miss nothing. And
move Gibbs to 4th.
Snyder, Ty Gibbs, the wrestling match.
Can we please get a caution at some point?
It's such good racing, and Cindric actually told me that this was kind of the short track of a road course, and when you watch that, there's a lot of contact, Michael, as they go through the S's.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and it's only going to get worse. These drivers see the laps winding down. Not only A.J. Allmendinger, but guys like Justin Haley and Miguel Paludo here. They know it's go time, and a lot of times when it's go time, the respect and the give and take, it's gone. You just have to be aggressive, and you're going to see that. We're going to see a spin here before long with someone trying to take a spot.
Look at Jeb Burton diving to the inside of Miguel Paludo. That looked really aggressive. Gibbs is underneath Sieg for 3rd. Gibbs is going to try to make a shot. Hell, he's 10 seconds behind. 15 laps to go. Gibbs is 10 seconds behind Cindric, and he's in 3rd place.
All the cars are really good at is braking. We watched it with Jeb Burton. We saw it with Justin Haley. Obviously, AJ is always good at braking, but it seems to me like that's where they have improved the most.
Oh, wait, we got the 90 car. Please tell me he's stuck. Please tell me the 90's stuck. A.J. Allmendinger's in the top 10. Allmendinger's in the top 10. Gibbs is third.
He's gonna go to work on the seat.
Moffitt has been great since his restart.
Not a caution yet. I don't know if the 90 car's still stuck or not. I hope he is.
Hey, and see, who's not known for his road racing ability. They play this strategy. His crew chief Shane Wilson, and he's hanging on up there in the top 5, 4th right now.
You gotta appreciate a team like that taking a gamble. You know they don't have this sheer speed to go with this race, but with a
Good God, Mike Snyder's all over the place. Mike Snyder's all over the place. Allmendinger's got to get around him quick.
they're taking advantage of that. They're doing just that right
That's
now.
going to be a problem.
I'll tell you what, they're beating
Now AJ underneath Snyder for 9th place. He takes that.
Well, they're kind of teammates. When you
He's
look
going to
at
get
Colin
Paluto here for
and
8th.
RCR,
How about
right?
Miguel
So,
Paluto?
I mean, this is
Or 7th, excuse me.
Here's what happened to Preston Partis.
That fighter spot is more grip.
Wow, Brandon Jones just railroaded the 90 off the track back there.
I'm afraid there was something ahead of that dirt.
Allmendinger 7th.
AJ Allmendinger around Miguel Paluto.
Allmendinger's making great time, but he still needs a caution.
It's been an amazing run, but when you look, he's in a pretty good position, but he's 13 seconds behind Austin Cindric right now.
Long way to go.
So probably not abusing his car.
Yeah, cautions never come out when a Penske car doesn't want
Right
one.
now, though, guys, probably getting the 3rd or 4th.
Joey Logano might as well be leading this race.
That caution, Adam, it's going to get crazy.
It is, because we might put tires on again. We don't know what the crew chief's strategy is going to be, and if we all come in and reset with tires, it can change everything.
What's up, Vince?
Well, and to that point, if we get a caution with about 10 to go, I would anticipate, from what I'm hearing down here on pit road, guys, to see teams come and put tires on. Allmendinger, of course, a former winner here.
Do they have to be on pit road for 50 seconds?
He was 31 at the time. I don't want to say AJ's getting old, but let's just call him a veteran, right? And when he was 31,
Fucking
when he won,
stupid.
Wyatt Snyder was just 18. Noah Gragson just 15. Gragson wasn't even shaving yet. And Riley Herbst, 14 years old. And how about Ty Gibbs?
Yeah, if Hamlin was leading, there'd be a pretty good shot at a caution coming out.
18-year-old that AJ was winning here in Mid-Ohio at age 31, and now he's out there digging against them, racing. And it's not done yet. If he gets a caution,
Justin Haley under Ryan Sieg for 5th, and Allmendinger's following through. Here comes AJ.
Tires, should we get a caution here sometime soon?
Centric still has a 10-second advantage over Michael Annett and Ty Gibbs.
Drivers on the lead lap, and how much could you gain back? And look what AJ
Yep, we could have had a great finish today.
17 since the restart.
Oh, well.
To get more and more.
You know, Jamie, I would absolutely bid. We get a caution, a couple more laps, I'm coming to get tires because they mean so much. They're going to be able to pass. 2 years ago, Austin Cindric came in late after all the other competitors. We thought track position would be key. Austin Cindric drove to the front and won the race.
Well, and on a road course, you want to be on the offense, not on the defense. It's so hard to drive defensively at a road course. We saw it with Mike Snyder.
Haley makes the pass on C. Here comes Allmendinger with him. Another spot for Allmendinger. He's 6th.
Ty Gibbs. When I did the sit-down interview with him a couple of weeks ago, I asked him, like, who was his hero growing up, like, especially, like, from Joe Gibbs Racing. And I kind of expected him to say, like, a Tony Stewart or Bobby Labonte, because I remember that era. I thought it was a great time for Joe
I'll let
Gibbs
you
Racing.
know if anything
And
happens.
I believe he said Kyle or Denny.
11
And I
laps
said,
to go,
would've thought you'd
I
said Bobby or
believe.
Tony. And he looked at me and he said, I wasn't born.
12 to go,
when they
excuse
were
me.
all those races."
Who's Bobby and Tony, right?
Without a caution, there's no reason to get excited about anything. But H. Allmendinger is making up a lot of ground.
Let's go back to Ryan Sieg, that number 39 machine. The last time they were on pit road was lap 44 for fuel. The reason that they made that decision was because they wanted to be out on the racetrack by themselves. It's not pointed out that way.
No, there are not these rules in Cup. These rules are only for Xfinity races that are standalone. So no, tomorrow in Cup will be a normal race for pit stops and everything. You will never see these rules in Cup unless NASCAR just decides all of a sudden they want to do that. This is like back in the day when the truck series like, oh, you can't change tires under caution, blah, 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 or whatever the stupid pit rules were. AJ going for a top 5 spot on his teammate Haley. He's got it. AJ Allmendinger's in the top 5. Allmendinger top 5.
The 16 in the top 5, and he is 14 seconds behind our race leader, Austin Cindric.
Still plenty of time for a yellow.
To catch up with fourth place running Brett Moffitt, so definitely on a roll. A caution.
What a
He'll be
drive
the favorite.
he's having right now. What a drive he's doing.
Allmendinger had that shit up on 2 wheels there when he passed Justin Haley. Whoops. What the fuck is my phone doing? Anyway. Yes, phone. I clicked my messenger. Thank you. NASCAR, your stupid pit rules ruined this race. This could have been a good race, but we just can't have that. We just can't have that. I like Austin Cindric. I just wanted to see a good fucking race. Too much to ask. Whoever Jason Keffer is, he said, I know this sounds petty and NASCAR doesn't care, but when Allmendinger was penalized for the dumbest rule in motorsports, I turned off the race and went to do something else. How do you get penalized for not sitting on pit road long enough? Rick Kaufman, is it a NASCAR policy to make something confusing for new fans each week? Yep, that's their policy. It's going to be one of them shoulda, woulda, coulda days, guys. It's the kind of day we're having. So, I think Chase Elliott wins tomorrow, but my bet is on Kyle Larson. If Kyle Larson wins, I get the money, but I think Chase Elliott wins tomorrow, no problem.
Like the fastest lap every lap right now.
But I couldn't pass up the better odd, the higher odds on Larson. Or lower odds, whatever you want to call it. If Larson wins, I got like 750 or something. But I think Chase Elliott wins tomorrow. Oh, look, Cindric's got a fucking 10-second lead, and there's nothing happening. Thanks, NASCAR. Allmendinger's going for 4th on Brett Moffitt. There it is. Allmendinger is 4th. Too bad it does not matter. Actually, make that 3rd. He's 3rd. Excuse me. He's 3rd. Because he passed Michael Annett during the commercial as well. Boring, 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 boring. 8 laps to go. 10-second lead. Make that 11-second lead.
We talked about Austin Cindric, being able to take it easy on his tires. The other thing is, we know he's pitted quite a few laps earlier than these guys, and we were kind of wondering about on fuel. Is he going to need some caution laps? But knowing he's got that big of a lead, you can lift earlier, go into the corners, you can short shift. There's a lot of things you can do as a driver to try to, manage that fuel just a little bit more. And he's got an 11-second lead right now. Sounded to me like he was doing a little bit of short shifting, Michael, and obviously lifting.
Up the 17's turned around on the front stretch and going backwards. Not a yellow, though. Unfortunately.
Like AJ Allmendinger
Cody Ware's fucking worthless. He can't even bring out cautions when we need them.
Taking it easy, and then all of a sudden you look in your mirror and here comes a guy. That makes you a little bit nervous.
You think they told him about Cody Ware, who spins out here coming toward the start-finish line? I don't think Austin needs to.
Cody Ware was just riding by himself when he hit the curb on turn 13 and fucking spun out. Uh-oh, we got a car stuck in the sand. Jeb Burton. I think he's going to get stuck. Please get stuck. Please get stuck. Please get stuck.
No doubt. He's stuck right now,
That's
guys.
not sand, as Jamie pointed out to me earlier.
That is gravel.
It's gravel.
That is gravel. Yeah, or kitty litter.
8 to go. Come on, NASCAR. Come on, NASCAR. Put it out. Put it out, you fucking cunts. There it is, and we have a caution. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, he's going to make it out. He's trying to get out of Myrtle Beach.
But it doesn't matter because they already threw the caution flag.
Hey, let me ask you this.
And Jeb Burton made a little bit of ground trying to get out of the gravel, but he's still stuck. Too bad. Caution's out. Fuck yeah.
I'm assuming there's
Fuck
going to
yeah.
be a caution. I think if you're not thinking there's going to be a caution, then you're being pretty unrealistic. We talked about the pushing and shoving. No, these guys have watched road races.
Hooray, this race has a chance. We're going to get the battle that we should have gotten with Cindric, Gibbs, and Allmendinger.
You've got to know what's going to come late.
Pit for tires. Just make sure you know the fucking stupid-ass rules before you come down pit road for these tires.
You're going to have, at
Fucking
most
A.
5 laps to go. If you come down here, I almost think.
I think you could gamble that, but I talked to Austin Cindric earlier in the week, and he's like, look,
Tires.
tires aren't everything there, but he said they are somewhat important. And he's like, it cost me the win not having tires there 2 years ago. So I think we're going to see the tires.
Tires.
Well, just Brian Wilson in communication with Austin Cindric.
Can't believe A.J. Allmendinger got all the way to third place.
Laps on their tires. They believe when they go back to green, there will be about 5 laps remaining or less, and they just don't feel like that's enough time to get back to the front. So I would expect, at least as far as what I'm hearing from Brian Wilson and also the 16 camp, I would expect the 22 and the 16 to stay out.
Wow, they think Cindric and Allmendinger will stay out here? Well, if you're Allmendinger, you might as well. You've worked this hard to get back to the front, you might as well stay out. I think Gibbs should pit. I don't think Gibbs has what it takes to beat either of these guys unless he pits for tires.
Adam, that are outside of the top 10, they don't have the budget just to come in and throw on tires. They're working for the best finish they can get. I think a lot of the guys will stay out. I just know what A.J. Allmendinger just did running through the field, fresh tires.
Allmendinger was busting ass to get through there.
Man, that's why the crews are so concerned and they're holding it all tight to their vest.
A.J. Allmendinger, get that man a cup ride. He should have never been out of the Cup Series.
Andy Lally's story that we covered from the beginning, expecting him to be up in the top 10. He wanted a top 5. He's back in 13th right now. He just kind of stalled out. Reason being, they're having problems with the brakes. They just overheated him early on in the race. And that last stage caution, they did go ahead and pull some of the tape off, but it's just a little too late. He was pumping him so hard in the corners, he was actually losing position. So just a tough break for them. They're going to make do with what they can with 7 to go.
Pit road is open.
Pit road's open. They stay out.
The leader's driving right by.
There you go. They all stayed out. So that takes the drama out of it.
Everybody coming with you. That's the best feeling in the world.
Who's the first car to pit? Myatt Snyder in about 10th or 11th.
Come and get tires and me.
Myatt Snyder, Brian Sieg, Brandon.
Okay, you got what you got. Cindric, Gibbs, Allmendinger. I'm sure Cindric's tires are in a little better shape than Allmendinger. Cindric had a 10-second lead, didn't have to run hard. Allmendinger was driving like a fucking madman to get to third place, but he made it. I still think Cindric's going to win the race just because of, like I said, his tires are probably not as bad. Although, maybe there's a trade-off because he pitted with a few laps to go in the previous stage and had to run a few laps under green at the end of that stage. So maybe that equals out on what Allmendinger had to do to get back to third place. Who cares? Who knows? But it's a race now, thank God. Things have a way of working out sometimes. Gibbs is going to do the Brian Vickers and wreck both of them for the win. Just watch. Yeah, come on, AJ. So I hope when I go to Daytona, I get a seat far enough away from the catch fence so I don't get clobbered by a tire or a car. I was just thinking about that last night. Thought about Austin Dillon's catch fence wreck and Kyle Larson's catch fence wreck. And how I don't want to be anywhere near that. Ooh, the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show.
Back on Fox. Saturday, it's the Masters Agility Championship beginning at 5
Look at the Chow Chow. Those dogs are so cute.
Best in show, catch it all on Fox, the Fox Sports app.
I can totally see Michael with that dog right there.
That is
That big
beautiful.
fluffy poodle.
Look at that big Great Dane sitting there. That's adorable.
Dog out there.
That's a big dog.
You can see right behind the dog, there's the kitty litter.
That dog right there not entered next weekend. That's unofficial.
Well, that's
That dog
because
is staring that sandwich down, though.
he's a champion. He done won that championship.
Jim Burton back on track. He did lose a lap.
Brian Vickers going to flee the country and change his name. Boy, what's with the Burtons and just running off track today by themselves? He got in that gravel. He was not getting out of that.
Once you lock that front tire up, the only way you can get the car slowed down is to let off the brake, which you can't afford to do at that point because you've already driven too deep into the corner.
What's up, Vince?
Well, certainly Austin Cindric didn't want to see that caution with that.
No, he didn't want to see that caution. AJ Allmendinger's a fucking man possessed right now.
11 seconds. He's won here before, and this is such a special place for him.
Yeah, I remember the dude's truck that caught on fire in a parking lot. Was that at Kentucky?
Megan and his grandmother Barbara on the pit box, and of course Barbara, the wife of the late Jim Truman, who was the owner here. This family owned this facility here at Mid-Ohio. Of course, Truman passed away in 1986 at the age of 51. And Megan, who was Jim's daughter, of course, they're here watching Austin, and I can tell you just by body language, they got a lot more nervous after that yellow flag came out. But it would be all the more special if Austin could hold on and get this win here today.
You mentioned Jim Truman passing away. He did so 11 days after Bobby Rahal won the Indy 500 in 1986, a car that he owned. So meant so much to motorsports, and certainly a big reason why Austin is racing, and a chance to win for a second time at his home track, and a bit of history here.
AJ's going to pull this off somehow.
If Allmendinger is able to rally late and get the victory,
Look at that. Marcus Ambrose has the most Xfinity wins on road courses of all time.
in the Xfinity Series.
Look at Ron Fellows. Dale Jr. beat Ron Fellows at Watkins Glen one year.
Back 2 years, no race here a season ago. The event canceled due to the pandemic. It was, in fact, the Austin Cindric Show. Third win here for Team Penske.
That was back when I didn't like Cindric. I remember rolling my eyes that day and being like, oh, God, I'm going to see Kiss. I don't have time for this shit.
On this Xfinity Series championship, I think we all know where he's headed in 2022. But really has done a nice job. Most races won this year, leads in about every statistical category. And looking to pad onto that today, but he's got something going on behind him he don't even want to know about.
AJ Allmendinger, man.
The 22
Dude's a wheel man.
last run's going on is that you're planning on a caution. You're
How is
just
he
thinking
not
that
still in the
that's
Cup
gonna happen, and
Series?
it
I'll
doesn't
never
because,
know. I'll never understand it.
Austin Cindric, one of the more focused guys, works as hard as anybody in the series. He knows how to get it done.
And there's a reason why we call the carousel the Regan in Ohio.
Well, there is. Back in 2015, Regan Smith, one of our colleagues.
Remember what Roger Penske said after Regan Smith knocked Tagliani out of the way? Roger Penske said he would never hire anybody that would do something like that. It's like, dude, Joey Logano drives for you, you fucking hypocrite.
Like as a driver,
I lost a lot of respect for Roger Penske that day at Mid-Ohio. All right, 4 laps. Cindric, Gibbs, Allmendinger, Moffitt. But we know what the race is. And there's Allmendinger 3 wide already. He's going 3 wide, going to 1. Oh, man, AJ. Oh, AJ's got it. He's got it. AJ takes the lead. Holy shit. He railroaded them. And there goes Cindric. Cindric's wrecked. He's spinning. He got hit by Justin Haley. Oh, Cindric's all the way at the back. Cindric's in last place. Cindric is in dead last. He just got knocked off the track. AJ took him 3 wide, got the lead, and then Haley cut across. He got run into by somebody, and it sent Cindric through the grass. What a fucking race. Wow. Wow. Justin Haley 3rd. He's got a lot of damage. He was the one who hit Cindric. I think somebody hit him first, though. Holy shit. This is a comeback for the ages for AJ. Look out, Gibbs. Hang on. I can't believe Cindric went from first to last in one corner. Gibbs and AJ gave each other plenty of room. But then AJ ran him wide into Cindric, and then, yeah. We got a wreck over here and a caution. God damn it. The fucking 26 car stopped over here. So there's a caution. Now Allmendinger's going to have to fight off another restart.
Driving for Sam Hunt, unable to pull away, and I think this is a product maybe of what we saw in that restart.
I still think Allmendinger's going to win the race. I still think he's in good shape. Because Gibbs and Haley are beat to shit. I don't think Moffitt has what it takes to win it. But I really didn't want to see this caution. God, what a race. 15 minutes ago it was doom and gloom. Now it's absolutely insane.
Obviously, Austin Cindric was the guy that came out short end of the stick on all of this.
I'm just nervous, Robert. I don't like seeing restarts with my guys out front. Even though I'm only going to get $6.50 for it.
Around went Cindric, who thought he had a win in his pocket until that caution flew.
He scored 26 right now, Jamie.
Tell what happened here. There's Wright and Brandon Jones off the curb into Chris Wright. Somebody's going to run into him.
Yeah, and it looked like Brandon Jones just got up on the curb, and it'll shoot the car out, and then, you know, there's nowhere for these other guys to go as you see Chris Wright spinning around.
Got hit there by Kyle.
Had to put the caution out for that. The 26 was done.
Yeah, the 11's trying to give Ty Gibbs a push there, right? He sees a little bit of momentum. He's like, I'm going to push him, maybe be able to clear these guys.
Justin Haley's got to pit with all that damage. I think Haley's got to give it up and come in.
I think that you'd have to pit there. That can only get worse. It looks like the fenders actually, looks like the splitter might even.
We're going to overtime.
That's pretty solid stuff up there.
That was just insane.
So it will be an overtime restart. We'll see what Haley does here.
Who's Cindric supposed to be mad at after this race? Because he should be pretty pissed off. Cindric has every right to be pissed off right now.
For the points all in their own. Remember, they won that second stage. They decided to make that call to earn those points. Haley's complaining of the smell inside of the cockpit right now. They looked at it. They said it's because your bumper is rubbing up against that tire. We don't see any bumper bar in there or anything that's going to cause an issue. But it is going to smell bad, so they're just trying to talk him through it, keep him calm, so he can get to the end of this race and hopefully earn those points.
Another look at the restart. The reason
when AJ went 3 wide here, I knew he had it. Before they even went to turn 1, he was 3 wide and under braking again.
I think Gibbs gave Cindric enough room off the corner, but it was just what was going on behind them.
Boy, if I was Austin Cindric, I would be, oh, I'd be so mad. That is the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. I could not imagine being him in this situation. I'd be so fucking mad. I really feel bad for Cindric. I wanted Allmendinger to win. I still want him to win, but man, I feel bad for Cindric. That's rough. That's borderline bullshit to get taken out like that.
Nothing Justin Haley could do. You can see his front end bouncing around there.
At least Cindric spun through the grass and didn't rip the splitter off. That's the only positive I got for you there.
And I wondered if they would pit, because you got tires. You're not going to give up much as far as track position, and here comes Cindric, Vince.
Well, and there is damage on that 22 as well, so they wanted to bring Austin Cindric in, take a good look.
Oh, yeah, Josh Berry's in the 31. What the fuck was I thinking? The 31 spun out, and I said I didn't even know who was in it. It's Josh Berry. I forgot that Josh Berry got the 31 this week.
When he rolled it in, so they're putting the right sides on. They're going to come back over, and they're going to take a real good look at this left side and make sure that it is indeed good enough to go back out and finish this race. If it is, and if it's raceable, now you're looking at maybe an overtime or two. And could
Cindric's hoping for multiple overtimes.
There's enough time to get back up through the field. Even with this damage, we'll have to wait and see, but they're giving it a good look to make sure that everything is okay structurally on this 22 car.
Well, I'll tell you, Vince, it doesn't look like it is. That left front, you said it was wobbling. It was pretty severe. So if it weren't for that damage, we could say this is going to be fun to watch, but I don't believe that left front wheel assembly is...
If I'm Cindric, I'm asking my spotter, whose ass am I going to kick after this race? Who am I punching?
How things are busted up there on that front end for Cindric. And they will finish their work up, and we'll see...
I think Gregson will get another year in the 9, and then that'll be it.
Was in position to perhaps win this race. And unfortunately, a caution comes out, a restart inside of 10 laps to go. And he gets pushed into the grass, opens the door for A.J. Allmendinger, who takes over the race lead, and now Cindric pulls away. We'll keep an eye on him. And we'll get the overtime.
We got another fucking commercial. Because cautions take 25 years on a road course. That's real awesome. Yeah, Josh Berry for the 9 car next year. Make it happen. So let it be done. Michael, do I get a bonus if AJ wins? If AJ wins, you give me 10. I just now saw your comment, Michael. So if AJ wins, I get 10. Okay. Well, now I know he's probably going to get run over here by Ty Gibbs or something. Yeah, I could see Sam Mayer or Zane Smith getting the 9 car, but I'd really like to see Josh Berry get it. I bet Gregson will be in Cup. Gregson will probably get like the 37 or the 47 one of these days. He'll probably get the 37. Nobody but AJ Allmendinger could do this that fast on a road course, man.
And the fans
Maybe Chase Elliott, because I saw Chase do this at Charlotte twice in one race. But to do it as fast as AJ did, that's insane.
Overtime, a 2-lap shootout. And if we get a caution on the opening lap, prior to the leader getting the white flag, we'll reset and do it all again. We get unlimited attempts. But once the leader gets the white flag, the next flag will end the race. And when you look at our top 10, no surprise that A.J. Allmendinger is leading, except for the fact that he was deep in the field after a penalty not long ago. But look at some of the other drivers.
Oh, Moffitt's slow. Brett Moffitt's slow. What's going on there? I don't think Moffitt's going to make it to pit road here. They might have to wave this restart off. Moffitt's car's stopping. They're going to have to wave this restart off. Yeah, they're going to have to wave this off. Moffitt's stopped.
A win for him puts him in the playoffs, and now
they got to wave off the restart.
And we'll go one more lap.
God, man. Is fuel mileage going to be a problem here? Because the caution period just got extended again.
So other drivers in the top 10, you got Ty Gibbs up there.
Now, I'm telling you, Gibbs is going to run Allmendinger off the track.
Justin Haley, who we know has damage. Andy Lally in line for another top 5. Miguel
Ty Gibbs, heel turn incoming. Because I'm going to be mad as fuck at him after this.
What I'm wondering, Jamie, did Moffitt run out of gas?
It doesn't appear that way. I mean, because he pitted on lap 53, so he should have enough gas, but it looks that way.
It does look that way. And the thing, the reason
Hold the gas can up.
the reason why I ask is the whole field basically up front pitted at lap 53. And if he's out of gas, Jamie Howell, there's a lot of people that are really worried about that.
Well, one of them being his crew chief, Joe Williams Jr. Just before he got ready to come down the hill to take the green, he said, "I'm going to keep my mouth shut. You're the man. You got this." And then all of a sudden it wouldn't go. The only thing that Brett has said to the team is it just won't go. The crew quickly got their gloves, their head socks, their helmets on, ready for him, but he can't move it.
We think they can go around 30 laps. I mean, upwards of that, right?
30 to 32 really is what we were hearing from most teams, Michael.
You know, sometimes you just don't get it full, though, right? Like that's the case of maybe there was an air pocket in there and they thought it was full and it wasn't. Or it could be something else, you know, altogether.
Weird.
It is
now
odd,
watch
though,
AJ run out of gas.
You consider the way we're pitting the cars today. And on one stop you do fuel, on another you do tires. I mean, you would think that
Can we just not do this ever again? These stupid fucking pit rules. Can we just not ever do this again?
So a bit surprising here for Brett Moffitt, and a tough break because
Please.
we've seen a little bit of everything, and he could have made it happen on this restart.
Yeah, because, you know, on a typical pit stop, you might leave when the tires are done, and then the guy doesn't have time to get it full. But when you watch these guys, they put the fuel can in with the car flat, which is how you get the most fuel in the car. And we're going to find out right now, because if it was fuel, it's obviously going to start right up.
This Our Motorsports team is certainly a new team and do a nice job. And Brett is in contention to win here, starting on the front row.
Yeah, and he's spraying, you know, starting fluid into the cow, and normally they fire pretty quick that way. So I'm going to say they have like an electrical issue.
1 week from today is
Oh boy.
the 14th race of the year. Begin the second half of the regular season.
Texas.
Motorsports
Hell yeah.
NASCAR Xfinity Series.
God, we got the all-star race at
Early in
Texas.
the afternoon on FS1,
Fuck.
Camping World Truck.
Why bother?
And then these Xfinity cars. Coverage begins 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Why
Race
bother,
day
man?
racing
Why bother?
From Fort Worth at 4 o'clock in the booth. Joey Logano.
Oh, well, we're going green. 2 to go. Overtime. Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Haley, Andy Lally.
Ty Gibbs will be on the outside. He's going to try to hold AJ Allmendinger
Andy Lally.
to the inside here as they go into
Something
turn
could
one.
happen here. AJ smoked Ty Gibbs on this restart.
It'll be interesting to see if Justin Haley makes it all the way around for a lap with that damage to the right.
Wow, Gibbs just had nothing for AJ on the restart. Haley into second. And 22 to 1 odds are looking pretty good right now.
For a solid finish.
Please make it back to the light. I don't want to see another one. I'm good. I don't need to see anything else today.
A.J. Allmendinger's got 2 things on his mind. Keep that racetrack ahead of him clear, and don't anybody behind me crash.
Yeah, and the smoke from Justin Haley's car has disappeared, Michael.
I don't know how Haley's car is running. That fucking left front looks sideways to me. But he's hanging with AJ. AJ's not driven away just yet. And Jamie just pointed that out. He has not driven away from Haley. Haley's still within striking distance, and so is Ty Gibbs.
Right behind him.
Ty Gibbs
Haley with all that damage.
I was going to say the battle for second and the speed that Gibbs has. He just wants to get around Haley and have a shot at Dinger.
You talk about Allmendinger, though. I got to believe those tires are absolutely worn out when you consider.
I think everybody's tires are worn out at this point as hard as these. Look at Haley's entire race car.
He certainly wasn't thinking anything about conservative, was he?
No way.
Now Allmendinger's starting to separate himself a little bit as they get to turn 12. Ooh, AJ sliding there. Turn 13, here they come, white flag. White flag, this is it. 3 wide back there, Paluto and Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst's going to get a top 5, Michael. Herbst is going to get a top 5 if he doesn't get run off racetrack here. Oh, wow, Herbst and Paluto. There goes Paluto. He got wrecked by Riley Herbst. And Andy Lally takes out Riley Herbst. Herbst is stuck in the fucking sand. I said he was going to get a top 5 if he didn't run off the track. Well, Andy Lally ran his ass off the track.
Can't believe that tire is still hanging up. That just tells you how tough you get your tires.
How much did it cost you to get that car, Karen? How much was that 2009? I don't want any 2009 junior cars myself. That's a pretty dark time for me as a junior fan. So Allmendinger's hanging on here. Haley's still in second. If Haley finishes second with that car, Andy Lally's going to get a top 5. It's been a pretty good day all around. Got to make it back around, though.
And what a comeback it would be for Allmendinger.
What if you tell Matt Collick his winning car is going to look like that, and second place is going to look like Haley's does?
I can't wait to hear what AJ says when he got the car. He's going to be super pumped. It'll be a great interview with Allmendinger.
Well, show me the money, AJ Allmendinger. Woo! I did it. I picked the winner. Had a high success rate in the Xfinity Series this year. Colleague 1-2. Justin Haley finished second with all that damage. They swept the stages. Allmendinger won the first, Haley won the second, and then Allmendinger won the race. Ty Gibbs third, Brandon Jones fourth, Andy Lally fifth, Brandon Brown sixth, Michael Annett seventh, Josh Berry and Ryan Sieg. Wow, look at that top 10. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Josh Berry, Ryan Sieg, and Josh Williams. Alex Labay 11th. Oh my God, Karen, you paid $8 for that? Me and Dylan have got to go to a flea market one of these days. AJ, that was unbelievable. Show me the money. That's like an extra hour on my shift. I make $11 an hour. You said you're giving me 10 here? Look, I'm poor. Every dollar counts. What a comeback. That was a hell of a show. NASCAR, you must have been happy there. You got what you wanted. They got a show, and they got to use their stupid pit rules. I love that Herbst was about to get a top 5. So coming to the white flag, Herbst hooked Andy Lally and put him in the grass. Whether he meant to or not is debatable. But Andy Lally must have thought he meant to, because going towards the keyhole, watch what he does here. Watch Lally chase Herbst down. Herbst hooks Miguel Paluto, takes him out, and then watch Andy Lally with the 98. Later. No, that was intentional. And Riley Herbst is trash. But AJ Allmendinger is the man. Cup Series next year. Cup Series 2022. AJ Allmendinger, I'm begging you, please. Put him in that Colin Card Cup next year. Please. I love AJ. I've always been a big AJ fan. Michael, you hit it big today.
That was a special moment. I think that AJ and Colleague are going to have that same moment right here. And look at this.
Big congratulations from teammate Justin Haley.
Ding, ding, ding. Riley Herbst was a fucking weapon those last 2 laps, wasn't he?
Looks like he's going to walk right down to Vince to do that interview.
He might give him a hug, actually.
And Matt Collick, the team owner, giving a big hug to AJ and the celebration right in front of all of the Collick guests that are over on the other side.
This race was rigged.
So it's a great place to stop and celebrate, not only with the team, but with all the Collick
What a top 10,
supporters.
though. Cody Ware finished 15th. Cody Ware finished 15th.
Penalty late in stage 2.
What the fuck happened today?
Back in 19.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset. But we win and lose as a team, so I was gonna fight until the checker flag flew. I knew we had the best car. You know what? I'm more damn tired from the celebration there than I'm driving. Woo, I'm old.
Hey, take us to that restart. You put it 3 wide, and ultimately that's what got you the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked that Cindric took the outside. This Ramco, especially.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's really surprising Cindric gave him the inside like that, knowing he was going to get taken 3 wide.
54 open gap.
You had to know.
I know these guys will do it to me, so I barreling in there when I saw a gap, and I was going to come out on the other side clean. That's all I got there, Vince. You know what? It's so cool. We're at Matt Collick's home race. We got 3 Ohio sponsors on the car. All these people over here.
I love Colleague Racing so much.
We got Mike Shank here, Indianapolis 500 team owner.
Hey, Karen, can you spare one of those? I want a junior diecast.
After you got that penalty, and he said, "You watch, AJ's going to come back up through and win."
God, I love Shank. Man, it's
all those things that you just mentioned. All those things that you just mentioned. What's this win mean to you to be able to do that for all these people?
And this is Matt Collick's Super Bowl. I mean, this is what it is. This race here, we got 500.
It's a really long interview.
Collick people, and I mean, it's just such a big deal. Like I always want to win for him, but here I win live. Put a lot more pressure on myself to try to win, and I can't thank all the men and women at Collick Racing, ECR Horsepower, Hyper Ice, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Leaf Filter, Leaf Home Solutions, Ellsworth Advisors, Arai Helmets, because they've always been a part of me, Sparco, they've been with me for so long. Say hi to my wife, I love you. My mom just had knee surgery 2 days ago, so I love you, Mom. I told you I was going to win for you. Mom and Dad, Zena, Mr. Tickles, I love you all, so can't wait to get back to celebrate with you.
I'm happy.
Well, they get to celebrate a
Can we get an Andy Lally interview, please? He finished 5th and he ran Herbst off the track. He's my hero.
With that damage that was so significant, it rubbed a groove into that front tire. How did you fight it off to get to the checkered flag?
First of all, congrats to AJ. That's amazing. This is Leaf Filter's home. This is Matt Collick's home. He lives an hour and a half away from Akron, and to finish 1-2 here is really special. Obviously, you want the Leaf Filter car in victory lane, but I thought we were a little better than AJ there at the end. But like you said, I had so much damage. I was just on the splitter so hard. So what a day for Leaf Filter, Matt Collick, Leaf Home Solutions, all the people over there, 500 Leaf Filter employees. It's pretty special. Here's the man himself. You want a word, Matt Collick? Oh, he's kissing me. He's kissing me.
Matt Collick's a big dude. You see how fucking big that guy is?
It's pretty cool to come here to Ohio. This is one we've always aimed for, and really appreciative of the Fraternal Order of Eagles as well. So
Ty Gibbs, Josh Berry, Brandon Brown. There's a lot to like in this series right now.
My brother Quentin.
Justin Haley finishing 2nd with all that damage.
Pit lane here, see if we can get to Ty Gibbs. I was listening in on the radio at the end. They said you did a great job out there. Next time we'll bring you something a little better. What more did you need today?
Overall, I feel like we lacked just a little bit of overall grip, and kind of took us a little bit to fire off. But my guys did a good job, and kept fighting there. It just kind of sucks. The 16 kind of went out. I was a little dirty there. I feel like.
Oh, he said AJ's dirty.
We're racing the Xfinity cars and road course, so it's always going to be rough, but you take it to the next level. But I mean,
Ty Gibbs said AJ pulled a dirty move. Quit being a bitch, Ty. I like Ty Gibbs, but he's being a little bitch right now.
Got the 22, knocked him out.
Man, dirty. Man, what about you fucking running over everybody at Charlotte last week, dude? Quit being a baby.
Next time going forward, I know what I need to do, and my guys are going to work.
Ty Gibbs is a hell of a driver, and I like him, but he's being a whiny little fucker right now.
Top 3, I feel like all day and led some laps, so that was good, and going out here a positive way. But I just want to thank you for everybody watching, and we'll keep moving forward.
Ty Gibbs still gaining that experience.
Ty Gibbs, a crybaby after Mid-Ohio. Sorry, he's being a little bitch.
Hey, he might want to come out ice cream again, get back on that winning streak.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's like AJ said. They'd have done it to him, so he did it to them first. He has watched Gibbs and Cindric race that way their entire careers. So AJ just did as they do. And got it won. Doesn't matter. Got the dub. Noah Gregson's only 15 points ahead of Brandon Brown for the last playoff spot. That is sad. Jeremy Clements is ahead of Noah Gregson in points. Let that sink in.
So you saw the standings, and the celebration continues for AJ.
And Herb still finished better than Clements. Thank God Clements had all them mechanical problems, or you'd have lost that on the last lap when Herb started driving like an idiot.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch.
So we go from Mid-Ohio to Texas next Saturday at 4 for the Xfinity Series. It's Xfinity, so it'll be a decent race, even though it's Texas. I hope the All-Star race gets fucking rained out next week.
A top 10, Michael Annette, Josh Berry driving the
that was a great race.
Road course start.
Could have been pretty bad with the bullshit pit call on Allmendinger, but it worked out in the end.
About that? First ever road course start for Josh Berry.
Then tomorrow we go back to Sonoma.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a year. It's been a lot
I'm
of
excited.
fun
I love Sonoma so much.
More road racing tomorrow. You saw it there.
But I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to go possibly take a nap and get ready to go hate my life tonight for 7 hours at Ingles. But congratulations to me and Michael. We won today. Hopefully I'll win. Well, like I said, my money's on Larson tomorrow, even though I'm pretty sure Chase Elliott's going to win. So even if Chase doesn't win, hopefully Larson wins me money. But good night, guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow around 4 o'clock.